Happy Friday night, everybody out there. How's everybody doing? It's Tremors night. I'm so excited. You guys voted. We made it happen. We're going to be watching Tremors live. We've got a ton of people here because everyone in the world apparently loves Tremors almost as much as I do, and almost as much as Chris Clark does, and almost as much as Pat Hogue does. And, well, Frank and Evan, they've never actually seen Tremors, and it's really disappointing. But there's one person who loves Tremors more than almost all of us here, as it turns out, and that is Kevin Smets, who reached out to me and was very excited that we were doing Tremors after you guys voted. And he was like, I have to be on here. So we made it happen. Kevin Smets is here. We're going to have a really great time tonight. We have so much going on, but real quick before we start, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping with you guys because there's going to be two announcements at the end of the show. One of them is next Friday's watch along. We're going to officially announce, and we also are going to announce all the watch alongs we're doing in May because we have an entire list of stuff that's going on. But before that, Monday night, we are going to be doing a Goofy movie for the 25th anniversary. It's going to be all of us crazy kids, and Ryan Snelling is going to be in the house with us, quite literally with me. And we're going to, revisit this classic animated Disney film. If you guys have not already, I was also on the Waffle Press podcast earlier this week. We were talking about movies that make us feel happy things. Just, with everything going on, it felt like a good time to do that. And I hope you guys will go check it out. Tuesday night, Evan Degraff is going to be doing his new show, Famous Last Words, with his guest host, Jacob Blunden. And Sunday, we have RB3 in the house. We're going to be talking the top albums of the decade, which is a monster of a list that I'm not really excited to go over because these two are going to kick my ass. And it's going to be great. And then Saturday night, Family Game Night is back. We are going to be playing virtual Monopoly. I'm really glad that all of our friendships are going to be over when this is all said and done, and it's going to be great. But we're happy to have you guys here. So with that, I'm going to start introducing everyone we have in-house. First and foremost, the man that we know as our Canadian, Pat Hogue. How you do? What is that?
They say there's nothing new under the sun. But under the ground, it's Kevin Bacon with some bacon. Oh, and some big worms we got here.
What did you just do? What is...
I spent 7 hours on that drawing. I hope everybody appreciates it.
They're thinking a lot of things, and I'm not sure appreciation is actually one of them, my friend.
PJ, do you know what I love?
Me?
Yeah, that goes without saying.
Okay.
But do you know what I also love?
What
Tremors.
else?
And I can't wait to watch Tremors, and it's one of my favorite movies. And can you introduce everybody so we can watch Tremors, please?
Okay, well, calm down. We got a few more people to get through first. Also here, our graphics guy, someone that we all love very much, Chris Clark in the house. Are you eating again?
Yeah, I'm eating, but you know what? It's going to be fun. Tremors, I think, aside from Kong 33, Kong 2005, is probably the single greatest giant monster movie after those two movies. It's going to be fun. We're gonna have. I love to drink. I love water. And this is a desert, and deserts don't have a lot of water.
Dry movie.
It's a dry movie, so this is going to make you thirsty. This movie will make you thirsty. Well, you know what I mean. Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
Those are some words that were just said by Chris Clark. The chat already saying, lol, eating on purpose, classic Chris. So the audience is on to you, Chris. They know what you're about.
I'm a fat ass.
I don't think that's what they meant. But, I'm very, very happy, though, because tonight we have a very special guest. I'm going to him first, even though Frank Janisch is in the same frame with him. We have the Inner Geekdom Schmoedown champion of the world, Kevin Smets, in the house. Kevin, how are you doing, sir?
We decided to leave town just one damn day too late. I'm excited. This is Tremors. He's never seen it, so that's doubly excited for me.
This explains my anger towards you.
Dude, I had the VHS when I was a kid, and then I transferred it to a mini 8 tape so I could watch it on my camcorder every day for like 2 summers in a row. I used to be able to recite this movie frontwards and backwards. I'd be the Tremors champion if there was a Schmoedown for it. So I'm excited. It's actually been, to be honest, a long time since I've seen it. Since I've been watching so many other horrible IG movies lately all the time. But so I'm really excited to watch something without worrying about memorizing every last piece of it. And I'm excited for this knucklehead right here. He's never seen it, and there's just too many good moments to mention. He's gonna be. I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I've never seen it, and you know, looks like it's a crisp hour and 36 minutes long. So I'm excited for the roller coaster that looks to be Tremors. I mean, Kevin Bacon. I'm sold already. So
I mean, and look, this is not just one movie. This is an entire franchise. I'm a big fan. I own every movie. I've got the TV show. Tremors is life. So I'm really excited that there's people who care about this franchise as much as I do here right now. But Frank is not the only one who has not seen it, because we also have Evan Degraff. How are you doing, sir? What are you doing?
This is not a way to challenge Chris.
Chris said this is going to be a very dry movie. So I thought we might just live up to it and make sure we keep our mouths wet here. I have my friend here, DJ, who has set up my tech for today. I just want to introduce my buddy. We're both very excited. We haven't seen the movie before, from my understanding.
Yeah, it's wild. Actually, I didn't realize that it was older. I expected it to be like a new film.
No, it's a Kevin Bacon
I've
film.
never heard of it.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm glad I'm not alone in the camp of I haven't seen it, so I won't be getting shamed alone. I can at least have that to feel good about myself with.
There's three of us.
It's no shame. It's now imparting this like glorious object to those who now get to just relish in its glory.
I haven't seen Young Guns before, so
That's true, Hogue.
I don't need this. We're watching Tremors. I don't need this kind of persecution at the night, Frank.
Brandon Hanna hasn't seen Top Gun, so he's still.
Yeah,
Wait,
let's make fun
what?
of Brandon Hanna.
Evan's not seen Rocky.
So mad I tell people.
You haven't
Well,
seen Rocky?
Okay, look. We're not going to go down the path of everything that everyone hasn't seen tonight, because instead we are going to relish in the fact that we are all about to watch Tremors. My dogs are so excited; they're fighting behind me right now. They're so excited about
that was
Tremors.
a clever sound effect Chris was throwing in there, but that was your dogs.
No, that was my dog.
Those are corgis in heat.
Oh, and Pat, we have one
They're
last
related,
thing to say.
Chris.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
We have one last thing to say before we get going. We do take Streamlab donations. We do have the link going on in the chat and in the description below. At the moment, it's just using to go straight back to the channel, as we have to pay for some subscriptions to make any of this and all of this possible. No like stress in having donor or not. Just have a good time with us. Watch a film. I just have to be bad mom here. So.
And with that, if you guys are not sure where to even stream Netflix or Tremors right now, you can stream it on Netflix, at least in the U.S. Apparently, Canada doesn't have it because one of our Canadian friends wanted to watch it, and it is not on
I'm taking
Netflix.
it for all of them. I'm sorry. This is for a good cause.
So if you guys are ready to go, have the movie queued up at 00, and we are going to count down from 5. As soon as I say go, hit play, and we are going to watch Tremors together. And this is going to be so much fun. So in that, let's go. 5, 4,
I can do that after.
3, 2, 1, go.
So,
don't
Kevin,
be
in
Irish.
kind of line with what you were saying, this was one of the first movies I watched as a kid that, like, I became obsessed with and, like, found every way to watch it. And the first time I watched it was 9, and my mom was like, let's all go camping in the backyard. Won't that be fun tonight? And I had to, like, run inside screaming because I just watched Tremors for the first time. And ever since then, it's, like, stuck in my, like, craw as a movie that has influenced me going forward. This is one of my favorite movies.
I was really excited because there's 2 old school movies where I just randomly like tweeted the actresses. I tweeted Christy Swanson once because I was in love with her with Phantom, and she wrote back, she wrote back. And then Finn Carter I somehow tracked down. This is the female lead of this movie. And she liked a tweet, or she used to have a Twitter. I don't think she has it anymore. And I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God.
It's such a glorious moment.
I just
Movie House.
I
also
just
want to imagine what it's like to be Evan Degraff.
I just want to point out Ryan Snelling for a second. Being Evan Degraff is awesome, so please imagine it.
Yeah, I mean, I think my tweet was something like, I'm still in love with the girl from Tremors and blah, blah, blah. Oh, man, look at this.
And then that girl liked the tweet, and then
and then I fell in love. And
History
I
afterwards.
stalked her and I got arrested.
You got arrested.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Who did
It's like-
who did the score to
Real quick, 'cause
Tremors?
this, I was a kid and I watched
know
this,
this.
over and over again. It's even the littlest things. I tried to pattern myself off him. I mean, not scratching my ass or anything, but just the little things like that where they cook in the morning and the way he, like everything about this, I was like obsessed with it. It's crazy. There's Finn Carter.
I
love that
bacon,
so much.
bacon and beans, eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Ernest Truce was the composer for this, and this is a great score.
This is one of my favorite monster movie scores maybe ever. It's just so good.
Trailers for this movie were great too. They really were.
I never saw this.
The shot of them running up the thing with the wood panel and stuff in every trailer. Richard before Jurassic Park.
What's so funny about this franchise, actually, is that it starts with something like Kevin Bacon as the star, but now it doesn't even belong to him anymore.
Yeah.
Well, to the point of like the franchise became bigger, and he tried to come back to it to help his career,
Right.
but like it
That,
was just
that one
so.
pilot. They shot a whole pilot with him, right? I remember
Yeah.
seeing set photos.
There's a trailer.
There's a trailer
It's
for
not
it.
good.
Oh, so sad they never made it.
Did I just read fucking Reba McEntire on this
Yes, you
cast?
did.
Welcome
Yes, you
to
did.
Tremors, Evan.
What in the hell, dude?
I miss Fred Ward, you guys.
Do you know what? This movie made me obsessed with him, and then when that dumb Jesse Eisenberg movie came out with him and Aziz Ansari, and
30 minutes or less?
Bologna and beans?
yeah, Fred Ward plays like a dad in that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, iconic actor Fred Ward. Hell, you did. Bologna and beans.
And who didn't always play this game, Rochambeau or whatever you want to call it, paper rock scissors, when you saw this movie? Like this is they do it all the time in the movie. You'll see. But
I was gonna say because I've been playing rock paper scissors all my life. I never saw this movie.
yeah, well,
We're still going to be playing this. I mean, we've all done it, right?
Well, Tremors didn't invent rock paper.
Sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we steal it from
Everything
Tremors?
that I did as a kid was so moved by this.
This is
Everything
interesting.
came from
We get
Tremors,
Interesting
Hogue.
insight into Kevin Smets' childhood upbringing.
Could you please?
This-
See? Now I know where that comes from.
Yeah.
Frank, wait until you meet Melvin. I feel like you're gonna relate a lot to him.
It takes him 500 tries.
That always gave me anxiety as a kid because I was expecting him just to hit his thumb.
Ron Underwood. It's so cool though that that's
that
such a
word.
small little thing.
Computer.
You know what I mean? Kind of
That's
like in
fitting
swingers
any
when they
set
can't
ever.
golf for shit and they're like, get
Yeah.
there.
It's also, I was telling you, PJ, I watched this last Friday with my roommate because I didn't know we were doing this, and I'm just so excited to watch it again because this is truly like one of the most smart scripts of every line means something as I talk over all of them.
Well, you know what's funny about that is like I love Ron Underwood's direction in this, and I think this script is whip smart. But he's also the dude behind The Adventures of Pluto Nash, which is one of the biggest bombs of all time.
Yeah. This is such a lightning in a bottle sort of movie of. Oh, wait.
This is where he's like, that's a girl, and he's
The new one.
he's
That's
a
supposed to be
horny
a
dude,
girl.
bro. He's like, whoa, let's go.
It's also a beautiful movie. Like this really got me into like landscape shots even before I saw like Lawrence of Arabia and stuff like that.
World class breasts and legs.
Wait, this is like what we're all gonna be saying once we get out of quarantine.
I know, right?
And legs that go all the way up.
Bro, everybody be horny on Maine. It's just how it is.
All right.
Poor Chris. Mike K, the score gets even better. It just stays this consistently good.
Oh, the Tremors, I get it.
Very good.
Mm.
Frank.
Is this your favorite movie yet? It's got to be your favorite.
100%. I mean, Kevin Bacon's in it, so I've been sold for a while.
My roommate said he wasn't attractive and I cried.
What?
Yeah, while we were watching. She's like, he looks like an alien man.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
So, are they gonna do this thing where like she turns out to be like super effing hot? Like, because right now they're like really underplaying it. Is that one of those things, or is it just kind of like this throughout the whole
I
thing?
think the joke was he thought it was going to be some hot chick.
Yeah, and
she
that's
has
it, that's
shit
just
on
it.
her nose.
It's about personality, Frank. Can we get over this?
Trying to, you know,
Yeah,
just
when she
going
takes
back
off
on
her
the
glasses,
time.
she'll be
Wait, what
good.
year did this come out?
1990.
90. Really?
So they could have done
1990.
the whole. They could have pulled that trope if they wanted to.
Can we just appreciate Chris Clark's graphic, by the way, where it looks like the graboid is going to actually eat Hogue? It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do the.
Bye, Hogue.
It only makes
See you
sense that
later.
he's in that box.
It's technically the tongue.
Oh yeah. Well, spoiler alert.
Oh yeah.
Look at that 5 o'clock shadow.
Very good, Hogue.
It's just what a man.
Thank you. Very good.
The other interesting thing is with Bacon leaving, when they did the second one, Fred Ward was actually the lead of the second movie. And he's not really known to be like a big star.
No.
So
So another one of like, oh, the franchise should carry this.
Yeah, but we all really understood at the end of that. It was really Michael Gross's franchise.
Well, Kevin Bacon was supposed to be in the second one,
I know.
and he dropped out pretty close to production, and they cut the budget.
Yep.
Even though I really liked the second one.
The second one was so
I'd like to
good
call it your pecker.
that it almost became a theatrical release, even though it was direct-to-video.
Yeah. And but it does a smart thing, and I won't spoil, of they have just enough practical effects in that movie because they don't need to spend a lot on budget of big monsters in that for obvious reasons.
Oh, because of the ass eaters, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was wondering what's their name. Frank, this is you, I imagine, every time I meet you.
Walter Chang's Market, man. Who didn't, when you drove through the desert or whatever and you'd go to like a small town, you didn't think of the city of perfection?
I always want to actually visit where they shot this, because I think they actually have props and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
And there's
This is
Mr. Miyagi.
right here. They're hilarious.
Oh snap!
That's not the same actor, right?
I think that's Mr. Miyagi, right?
Rona.
I don't think so.
No, it's definitely not.
That's not Mr. Moriarty.
Chris, we gotta cancel everything. This is... Oh god.
Hashtag Chris's over party. Hashtag
Oh
Chris's
my. You're gonna have to make a couple new graphics.
My bad. I thought it
Hashtag
was.
we are looking for a new graphic designer right now. Hashtag sorry, Chris.
Rip.
What's funny is that he's actually potentially in a movie that we might be announcing at the end of the show.
Whoa. Whoa.
See that little setup right there? That thing.
Overgaze.
You know that thing's gonna play.
Dude, when you watch
I don't want to talk over the movie.
Plan.
Everything, like
It was
you said
written.
earlier, everything in this script is by design. Not a single line was wasted.
This is honestly maybe one of the most whip-smart monster movie scripts ever.
But it just goes to show of it is a B movie, but with like just good characters and good production value. And like the premise is schlocky as all hell. But if you do it right, you make a classic, and they do a lot of the Jaws thing in this movie of it's what you don't see as much as what you do see.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, there's someone named Star Drew in the chat that keeps trying to get your attention. Did you just take your headphones off? Okay. Star Drew is trying to talk to you, Chris Clark.
Oh, she is? Awesome. I was just getting other headphones.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Star Drew. It's been a long time.
Garth
Oh, wait, that's
McMurray
exactly
on-
what you said.
Yes, it is. And Garth McMurray might be onto something in the chat. I just want to throw that out there.
Uh-oh.
Maybe Garth. I don't know. It's plausible.
I hinted at it on my Twitter earlier. I think that my clues were pretty good.
Pat, you're always giving away stuff.
Watching this last week really
He's wearing a
This
mask.
guy's in quarantine.
That guy's already ready. These guys are already ready for coronavirus, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already
I-
good at their social distancing. They've already got the masks on.
The gloves.
they don't know what's going on.
Infection has a population of 14. They couldn't break the law if they tried.
They're Jared Leto right now in silent retreat. They have no idea what's coming their way.
We should just move to perfection, you guys.
This is what I always thought was cool, though. Like, they're drinking beer.
Wait, where is this located?
It's like Nevada.
Nevada.
A fucking beer, bro. We gotta drink. Everybody has.
It might
beer.
be
We gotta drink
Arizona.
with these guys.
No, it's Nevada close to Arizona because they do talk about Bisbee as well.
Don't cheers me. Not drink.
There's nothing in here.
Ferris, is this a dino movie? No, it's not a dino movie.
Just bring the whole.
Dino DNA though.
But I do remember Chris Clark at one point saying it is better than Jurassic Park, but I think that's.
I like it more than Jurassic Park.
It's better than Jurassic Park. Yeah.
Now I got all these expectations. Because
I think it's better than Schindler's List. Yeah.
What did you just say?
Okay.
Or yeah.
Those movies are trying. Those movies are doing much bigger things, and they do them very well. This is trying to do a very simple way, but it does it as a masterpiece. So it's like it executes what it's doing with ironically perfection.
Oh, it is. No pun intended.
Also, I feel like you can't compare this movie and Schindler's List because they're very different genres.
It's his bit.
Oh, got it. It's his bit. I'm new.
I don't think it's really a bit, you guys.
All right, we're out.
No, it's
Wait,
not.
which part?
But I don't know what else to describe it as.
Wait, what I said was a bit?
No, Chris.
Oh, thank
Well-
God. I never do bits.
Never doing bit. It's just one long bit.
It'll pay off at some point.
Yeah. It's a big gotcha at the end.
Every time somebody thinks it fails, just wait. It's coming. It'll get there.
Never reach the punchline. That's the punchline.
And speaking of Jurassic Park, that girl in the background is the girl from
shit.
Jurassic
Get out the
Park.
pogo stick.
Oh, snap.
Big.
That
feet.
pogo stick, man, that is scary because it's already setting up the future.
You don't need to hold it.
So much foreshadowing.
I really can't believe the fucking pogo stick is foreshadowing. Things
It's so
you hate.
funny watching these. I mean, I'm sure PJ, you do it too now, but like in my head, I'm just like, all right, she's on 640, and in my head, like I have to stop myself thinking like I gotta memorize that or whatever. But I'm sure you watch a movie like this and you see questions all over the place. You're like, all right, that'll be a good question.
All the time. And it's super frustrating because sometimes I'd love to just enjoy movies again, but I have to actually pay attention to like write. So
Yeah.
you know.
It's hard to turn it off for me too. Like literally when she said 640, the first thing that caught in my brain I was like, all right, 640. I'm like, wait, I don't need to know this shit.
I
But
mean,
it's like you know that somebody's going to be evil enough to like make that a 5-point question of in Tremors. She's on a pogo stick count. Which number is it?
maybe
Or
we
where they,
should.
let's see, they want to go to Bixby.
Maybe we should make Tremors an inner geekdom category. I'm just saying.
Oh,
do-
don't do that.
I did
Don't
that before
do
Fast
that.
and Furious.
They're making $50.
Yeah, I agree.
47 more than they had. Like how much? Yeah.
I'd
How much money
I'd
was in your
agree
bank
if you made-
account?
I'd agree if you made Tremors an inner geekdom category, only because it's like it isn't super mainstream, and that was kind of like the premise of
Right.
inner geekdom was like it wasn't. I mean, it became mainstream, sure, but like that was kind of like the thought.
that's
behind
the-
it. So I wouldn't be terribly opposed to it.
I'm all about extending IG. Like, I mean, you're coming from like, I got my shit on lockdown, but like, the one thing I think sometimes missing from IG matches are the back and forth that you get in singles, where
Yes.
you could be down several points and then you can mount a comeback. In IG, you can go perfect and still lose because you went multiple choice in the second round and you just can't ever catch up.
What I'll say is that one of the things that I would love to see is like an entire Universal monster slice, and this would fall under that category.
Well, isn't there monster movies?
Not an inner geekdom.
Oh, not
No.
an Intergeekdom. No.
Yeah,
Inner
you
Geekdom's
do-
super
I would
shit.
hate to do it because I hate the movies, but video game
Hold on.
movies, monster movies,
Fine.
Really good music
fantasy
staying here.
sci-fi I just think you can really extend it.
Yeah, definitely.
This is great.
What a great shot, by the way, on this guy's body.
And the premise too, like why the frick would he be up there? You know,
It's a
Right.
perfect mystery of just what is doing this. And Frank, to kind of like get back to what you said too, though, of like, it's not mainstream, but this is a film that got what 6 sequels, a TV show, and it's still considered a cult like
Right.
movie. It's weird, just like where it exists. Fred Ward's so handsome.
And then every time you see anyone put anything with the ground, it just gives you anxiety. You're just like, come on, man.
What this movie does really well is just sets up like how much noise everybody's making early on, and like this is just a noisy world and noisy people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does the thing where, like, so far I've noticed this score isn't too loud.
Yeah,
It's all about the sound design.
but it also like is very Western twangy.
I love
in
that.
a lot of ways.
Look at those practical effects, though.
Yeah.
Just little
Yeah.
things like that. I miss stuff like that. And I know that
I
sounds weird, but
I see that guy's face, and then I just think of the next time we see his face.
Oh, we got that Sam Raimi shot. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Shout out to our Army of Darkness watch along that we did earlier.
Is she tweeting me right now? Is that her checking her Twitter?
Evan Smets complimented me.
And
Hold on.
if you guys are enjoying this, by the way, make sure you are sharing this on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. Spread the love for our love for Tremors.
Hey Frank, I'm pretty sure that she just tweeted that she's upset with your analysis of her on the Schmoedown.
No, she's tweeting about Chris's
Well,
comment
that's
about Mr. Miyagi.
Oh,
I'm feeling really upset about that right now.
I really thought that was Mr. Miyagi.
Not to
How's the Snow sequel, PJ? Is it good?
It's good. I think it's the weakest of all the sequels, but I still enjoy it. That would be Tremors: A Cold Day in Hell. It's right here.
That's the latest. That's the latest one, right?
Yeah. 7 is coming out in October.
What do you
It's
know the
supposed
premise
to.
of that one?
That one's set on a tropical island.
How is it gonna get to the island?
I don't know, and I can't wait to see it.
It's
And
under
John
Degraff.
Heater's in it.
Wait, is that it? Wait.
Sorry, spoiler alert. They go to the tropical island.
I believe
The
it has
two
a title.
franchises, PJ, if you give me that, I will reboot Back to the Future and Tremors, and you will get modern classics.
It is called Tremors Island Fury, by the way.
Island
Can't wait.
Fury.
Yeah.
Jamie Kennedy again.
It doesn't look like he's in it. I know John Heater's in it this time. Napoleon Dynamite versus Graboids.
But still with our main man, right?
Yes. Still Michael Gross.
Bro, I love that acting by Kevin Bacon, man. Just the jumping up and down and the throwing down the hat.
Well, and apparently it finished filming in December, so they should be in post, so it may still be able to come out.
PJ, real quick. The way these guys deliver the lines. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
these
I love
guys.
this. Just the slow push in. Everyone knows what they're.
Such a great shot right here, man.
With the juice coming out? Yeah.
All of this, like,
Oh!
so much foreshadowing. There it is.
But it's like, how much is done with sound?
Practical effects for the win.
That guy's dead.
Mike K asks, are the sequels on Netflix? Yes, all the sequels are currently on Netflix. The only thing not on Netflix is the TV series, which is a little too bad because the show is good too, but you can pick it up on Amazon right here. It's a nice little package. Michael Gross is in it too. Jake Yacovetta's in the chat says, Kevin and Frank look so cute together.
Oh.
Thanks, Jake.
The heavyset
Well,
guy with the mustache comes back.
It is the year
He's in
2020,
3.
and
Yeah.
I think people are just more accepting of situations these days. So we're fully embracing it, and it is
Speaking of
okay,
which,
Uh,
Frank, speaking of which, Chris, is this a slab of meat that's behind the graboid right here?
That's not a slab of meat. That's a giant rock, but it does look like a meat patty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like
Brandon
just like a
Buckingham in the chat. Hello, Brandon. It's good to see you as well, sir.
I thought you said Benjamin Bunder, or the guy that was playing.
What did you think I said?
I thought you said the guy who was playing Doctor Strange was in the chat.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah, I thought that's what you said for a second.
Did you say Benjamin Bucker?
I tried to get Kevin Bacon to watch with us, you guys. I tweeted at Kevin Bacon all day for him to watch with us, and it didn't happen, but I tried.
All right, hold on. I'll tweet him. He'll respond to me. We're best friends.
Yeah, we know. You
why-
and Kathleen Kennedy are close together too, Pat, right?
Oh, yeah, no, she takes my calls.
Right. That's what I thought.
Just
How
look
is
at that
it so
shot. All
precise
the
to not
oh man,
swallow the helmet, but leave the.
I do say I gotta love that. I haven't seen a damn creature, and this is pretty cool though.
right? It comes from the Steven Spielberg School of Jaws, if you will.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
Which-
It's like Jaws in the desert, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is to me. It's Jaws in the desert, and that's part of the reason I like it so much. Like, there's something to be said about the fact that you don't see them throughout.
Hey Mike Deacon, nice long time no see.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well in Orlando.
I used to say that to my dad in the car, like, If it wouldn't start, I wouldn't even know what I was saying. I'd be like, "You're hung up," thinking I was so cool. You shut up. Shut up.
Kevin, please say that to one of your opponents in the Schmoedown later on, and do it just like that.
Man. Could you shut up?
It'd be totally warranted, probably too.
Probably.
What's the next best line? Or no, the use of the F word in this movie is beautiful.
It's rated R, right?
No, it's PG-13.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
There's always one.
Oh, what the?
Always
fuck?
one F.
Look
Yeah.
at that shit, dude.
Oh shit.
It looks like a shit.
Chris.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't be speaking out loud, but yeah.
You know how people like watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit and like have a sexual awakening? I feel like this was also a scene for kids.
Oh, wait,
when
you see
they,
her boobs in that one shot? Yeah.
Yeah, Jessica Rabbit. I feel like this did that for a lot of people. This scene.
Because it looked like a penis?
Wait, ready for it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody? Nobody? Everyone's just gonna ignore that?
These people are
Okay
awfully
then.
close.
I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing.
He's saying it looks like a penis.
I'm just saying some people are weird. And they get some
What the fuck?
weird things out there.
Why do you keep talking about yourself like this, Pat?
Evan, I need you to accept me for who I am. Not who you want me to be.
Sorry, I want you to be American. I did what I could.
My favorite thing about his
Hey,
Gross's
not well.
character is just how he's just loving it. He's the
Yeah.
doomsdayer, thinks waiting for World War III, and he's just the second this happens, he leans into it.
Broke into the wrong goddamn rec room now, did ya?
One of the greatest lines in cinema history. I contend this scene. Well, I don't know if it's this scene coming up, but like with these two in the theater, I remember one of my only memories of. I remember seeing this in the theater, and this scene with this couple freaked out the theater.
It's the worst way to go.
It is crazy.
This is the scene afterwards. My mom was like, "Let's go camping in the backyard," and I said, "Huh? What?"
I think these people have it. Yeah.
If someone could
But
get
it's
a
also-
precise time code to the chat, by the way, I can't really pull it up on my end. If someone could tell them where we're at, that would be very helpful.
We're at 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 27 seconds.
It's also just like they're so
Rock and roll
likable,
Tyler
just
says do it
like
to
in
her.
a scene and a
Counting down.
half.
Yeah,
That, like,
we
anybody could
just
try.
hit 24 minutes.
24 minutes in. I am that much.
Yeah, it's gone.
I hear you, Tyler. That would be funny. Can you shut up, outlaw?
Oh yeah.
I would love that, actually.
John would get so pissed. Oh my god.
Yeah, this scene's great. This scene scared the crap out of people in the theater.
Daniel's asking if this is the car scene. If anyone could elaborate, because I'm unsure.
I don't want to spoil it for you, so
yeah,
we
I don't
will.
want to spoil it either. I feel
yeah.
like I already spoke too much about it.
I did too. I think I spoke too much. So when it's done, we'll
It's
talk
one of the
about
few
it.
night scenes in the movie, though, and so it really does stick out.
It's beautifully composed, this whole movie, man. I just think the cinematography is so beautiful.
I looked up the cinematographer.
You see that, dude? This freaking
Um,
wimp right here just jumped.
One of his latest credits is a Medea Christmas. So just
PJ,
know
make
that.
sure you mark that down. You can do a replay. This
Right
guy
there,
jumped.
I will.
And the volume's low level, and we're reading the subtitles. That's what's hilarious.
That's how good this movie is. It's very effective.
I may or may not have jumped. We don't talk about it.
Evan did jump.
Oh, you don't like scary movies, Evan?
We've talked about this.
Shout out Danny
Karma, right,
Ramirez.
Evan?
No, Jim.
Danny Ramirez is in the chat with us, so shout out to her. Goodbye, Jim.
Oh no.
It's like the Sarlacc, mini Sarlacc, dude. This is shades of Clint getting pulled away by the shark in Jaws.
100%.
This is PG-13, by the way.
That means he died and he got a splinter, dude. That sucks.
Ow, yeah, she got like a concussion.
Imagine being eaten and going out with a splinter. You hate to see it.
And with boobs in your face.
Well, it's a good way to go
There are
out.
worse
Chris,
ways to go,
we
right,
were so
Chris?
close.
Bro, fucking creepy as fuck.
Look at that!
She has a nice ass for her age.
Guys, this is a kid show, remember? Kids, children.
I don't think so.
No, but it
Well, this is PG-13, so
Imagine
Her
they
glutes.
Yeah, that's
children
not
shouldn't be
fun.
watching this.
you got a point. Sorry, Chris.
No, they're not.
I
They're
doubted
real.
you. Yeah, lock those doors. That'll stop them.
I just love all the practical effects of the tentacles and stuff of the graboids.
Well,
Oh,
and
I
just like
actually
these
not-
little moments of like the camera slowly pulls back a little
Danny
bit,
Ramirez, we can tell
and
you where we
then-
are. She's in the car and she's groaning.
and then it pushes in, like on her.
Let us know
Like
where, we
it's
can
just
tell you exactly where we are.
visual
If you remember
storytelling.
this movie, I'll tell you when it's the great wide
Look
shot
at
at the
that.
very end of this sequence.
This is why I have a what do you call it? Claustrophobia.
It's also just like it's a monster movie where like if you get trapped by them, the idea of like drowning in the earth is
So
Yeah,
terrifying.
dude.
literally
This shot
horrible.
right here.
Yeah.
In the theater, people freaked out, dude. That's the
Well-
wide shot, Danny. It's the end of the car scene. They're inside the store now.
And like, no, let's not also undersell the fact that like they are so smart that you can't even get out of the car to run away because these things will still eat you. You're trapped no matter what. So creepy.
You guys mentioned that that's one of the few night scenes,
Selling pictures.
and if I imagine that because that's the case,
This is
that means the rest of the
hilarious.
storytelling
I'm talking
must
to
be
you.
really good because they don't have to rely on like darkness for everything to make a good scary movie.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. How many night scenes are in this movie?
I think this is the last night
Rainbow.
scene.
I used to get excited when you call it Rainbow.
There's-
Rainbow.
Isn't the one with by the canyon and the walking? Or am I thinking of the second one? I'll be the second.
They do
one.
like they skip past it. That's the thing. Is like the second one has a lot of interesting night scenes, and it is a different dynamic because you don't expect that in a Tremors movie.
I'll say
Right.
the fourth one where they go back in time to the 1800s is probably the
Which
best
is
one.
it's one of my favorite sequels. Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, the brilliant thing about that is, again, because it's Michael Gross's series from this point on, essentially, is that he's even in that one as one of his ancestors.
Geographic oscillation.
Yeah. And the best thing is that it's just back to just being the regular graboids. The other things haven't been discovered yet.
But there are baby graboids.
Yeah. I don't think there's any ass eaters though.
Well, they
No ass eater.
also shot that around the same time they were doing the TV show, and that was a big thing. Is that a lot of people think that Tremors 4 actually looks very cheap because it shares the budget of the TV show, but I actually think it looks quite good, all things being equal. Like, I mean, it's not Back to the Future 3 in the Old West good, but it's pretty close.
Oh,
But
I
it-
think
it-
yeah. Go for it.
But it also like
I like the
really
sequel.
gets back to like the original tone of this one of you don't need to see the monsters to understand how scary they are. There's a scene where they pull away the floorboards in the fourth one that is as good as anything in this movie.
Yeah, the scene in the library. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the fifth movie has quite a few moments like that I like a lot. The fifth one gets overlooked a lot because it came out so recently compared to all the others. But I think that one is quite good, actually.
Bro, what the hell is Swiss cheese gonna do for you? That's all I. That's all I
You
want.
get, you get hungry. You want to eat some food?
Dairy?
Yeah.
Get you
There's
some
something there.
crackers. Peanut butter. Some carbs.
Well, more carbs means you fart, and then fart makes
Horses are-
noise.
Horses are literally the worst possible creature you could ride or use in this scenario.
Yeah.
Literally the worst.
I think a
I just
motorcycle.
tweeted Kevin Bacon.
Franco,
He's going to be
welcome to the
joining us
party,
soon.
Oh,
Welcome to the
Tim
party,
Franco! It's good to see you, my friend.
He said I'm late to the party.
Guys, can we all admit that Michael Gross is really the unsung hero of this film?
It's the weird circumstance where usually when you take the side character and make him the lead, it doesn't work, but he just totally works in both roles of like he
Yeah.
can just be a little side character or carry your movie.
He is the literal exception to the rule.
It just sucks that he kind of just like got stuck only in this franchise.
You're talking about side characters becoming important in later films. Like, I think there's only other one example that comes to mind when you say that, and that's Scream. Like,
Settle down
where
over there, guys.
the killer being, like, the killer in the second movie being somebody who like is barely involved.
Sure.
I've only seen the first movie.
Oh, sorry.
The only other
No,
thing
yeah, you can spoil it. I don't know.
No, the only other thing I would actually compare it to is Pirates of the Caribbean, because Jack is clearly a supporting character in the first film.
Yeah.
And he basically becomes the lead from the second on.
It's funny because you and I were literally just talking about that today. Not that specifically, but we were watching the Pirates movies today. God, third one's ridiculous. Like, it has no business doing what it does.
I liked it. It just does a lot.
I'm gonna use the restroom.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh,
there it is again.
God damn it, Pat. He does this every time. Now his doodle art is gonna be eaten by the worm.
I need to make him a graphic.
I just want to give a shout out to Tim saying he's here for Evan's trademark takes.
Excuse me, Tim Franco, as we discuss Kevin Bacon and his mullet. We're gonna see how I feel about this. It's
great reveal, by the way. I love this.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm gonna call bullshit. Those lights would not still be on. My battery dies so fast.
It was a different time, my friend. It was a different time.
Is that a dam?
I might force you to watch this scene before you do anything. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is where we really start having fun with this movie. Yep, good score here too, PJ.
Oh, yeah. Again, this score is fantastic.
I think there's something that older scores do that newer scores don't, where they really rely on tubas mixing with the trumpets and giving that really good dichotomy and juxtaposition of the heavy and the lighter sounds, where I don't think you hear too much of that anymore in newer
Look
scores.
at that shit, dude.
You guys are going to have a special guest that I requested. They're under the chat here in about 5 minutes. I think you know who he is.
Oh, I'm excited about that. I can't wait to talk to him. This scene is so terrifying, and like, again, I can't understate how smart it is. Like, using animals to show just how scary and violent this can be, because we all like animals, and it's like, oh man, these things are evil. It killed the horse.
But it's also genius in that the whole movie, it very smartly sets up that it could just be small worms. Or just like bigger worms, but like smaller versions of it. And the reveal of, no, it's a big ass worm is like shocking, because you're like, oh, that makes sense. Right. Because you're just thinking like these swarms of like little guys are going around.
Tim Sim, real quick, Tim Sim says, fun fact, it was a rescore when the original didn't get a good reception. That's very interesting. I actually don't think I actually knew that.
Same thing with the ending. They reshot the ending.
Yeah, I do know.
What was the original ending? Oh, we'll talk about that after when
Evan, did you say Kevin Bacon has a mullet?
Yeah,
he does.
That is not a mullet.
Oh, it's a perm. It's a perm.
What?
A mullet, you have shaved sides. And
Hey,
it, like,
Evan,
gets
remember
gross
you
in the
brought
back.
this up, and look, this was actually important where they ended up.
Yeah. A fucking damn dude.
But again, it takes one shot. And like other movies
my
nowadays wouldn't
ass.
take the time to
He's dead.
show. Wait, hold on. Best use of the F word.
Yeah.
We killed him.
Which is also a great gif now. It's been memed to death.
Oh, this outfit.
Also, this is the baddie in the movie.
Wait, do you know how I notice how many buttons are on her shirt? That's a lot of buttons.
The 90s, Pat.
But like, look at that. That is a model with goop and
I'd miss practical effects like this. I do.
I always think of when you see this goop in later scenes too, it always looks like those Stouffer's lasagnas.
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah.
When it would burn you, you take a bite of it and it lands on your hand, or it sears your hand.
it's still worth it. Oh.
Yeah.
Mike
I
K in the
think so.
chat says that F-bomb did not disappoint.
It also, isn't there something so like aliens about it, of like there's like a goopness coming off of this thing that like warns you of, like, Alien always has like people find that puddle next to it before the alien attacks. This one is something else, like a vibration. Any good like
Right.
monster has that like thing about it that warns people.
Side thing, I like Garth's question. Movie trivia question: how many buttons are on our shirt?
That's the kind of stuff that gets me yelled at later by Christians. So let's not do that.
Wait. But Pat, could you imagine a category where it's guess closest to? So instead of like
Ooh.
an actual thing, it's like who can get the closest to whatever number, or something like that.
Or they show a clip and you can only watch it once,
Right.
and you have to like pay attention to a detail.
You know,
Seen it. Tremors edition.
I'm actually surprised that Jerry Goldsmith isn't the guy who did this score, because it seems like such a Jerry Goldsmith type movie.
Yeah, I looked up the guy who did it. He doesn't have an Ernest Truce doesn't have a ton of credits.
I'm just saying, because you look at a lot of the movies that Goldsmith did back around this time, it would be like Gremlins or The Shadow. You know, he's very much kind of a creature feature-y and B-movie type.
But it's so funny that like Tremors is like the one movie in a lot of people's filmography that is the only notable thing of like Ron Underwood really doesn't have anything notable after this other than Pluto Nash, which is like kind of
No, there was
trash.
something else I felt like that was on there.
What else did he?
Look it up.
Let me look.
But like the cinematographer and the composer and everything, like other than Kevin Bacon, like all the actors didn't have the most notable careers.
It was City Slickers, and it's funny. That's what I wanted to bring this up earlier. City Slickers
Really?
is so similar to this in a lot of ways, because they're both like the
Tom fighting giant worms.
no, but I mean just like
Wait,
the
hold on.
desert setting and stuff like that. Was he clearly chosen because of Tremors?
This thing right here, how he falls into that snake thing. When I was in film school, I shot a Civil War movie, and one of the reenactors we hired, he fell
Stepped
into one
into
of those
one?
things and broke his ankle, and
Oh,
it
you-
totally lost him for the
They're
rest of the shoot.
dangerous.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I thought of Tremors when it happened. I'm like, oh my god, that happened in Tremors to that guy.
Meanwhile, he's screaming, grabbing his ankle, and you're like, "Oh, you're like Fred Ward." It's like, "Get me to a hospital, please." But like, as a kid, like scenes like this really made me think about if like, there were graboids in my town, what would I do? Like the ground became so scary to me after that for a while.
So Tim Sims says it was actually Robert Folk who did the score, like on the rescore, and he actually did quite a bit of stuff, mostly the Police Academy series.
Did he do the original? Because I'm looking it up and it says Ernest Truce here.
I'm just telling you what was said in the chat.
Well, I'm saying that Tim Sim, if you want to provide details, I'm going to fight you.
Voice of reason, and he's kind of the voice of reason.
The opening credits.
Well, if the score was overdubbed by somebody, the original composer would have gotten credit because of union purposes.
Oh, got it. That makes sense.
Dang it, Chris, you might be right. Sorry, Tim Sim. I called you out.
Tim Sim.
You just got smacked around.
Ow, it hurts.
I was on your side.
It's funny because she doesn't do a bad job
appreciate it,
acting
DJ.
in this movie. I wonder sometimes like when someone just you never hear from them again.
It's
I
a
think
lot of
they're
these kind of 80s and 90s kind of heroine like kind of role that they fill. Like we were watching Tommy Boy with PJ a long time ago. I'm like, what happened to the main actress?
Yeah.
She's great, but like just kind of goes nowhere like for a lot of their careers.
I was watching something recently. I can't remember what it was, and it was a similar scenario where I was looking at the actress and I was like, why didn't she go anywhere? She's quite good, and just didn't go anywhere after.
I talk about the woman from Wayne's World. That's another one that comes to mind.
It wasn't Wayne's World, but I mean that is a true statement, actually.
Because Hollywood's monsters, bro. Hollywood's full of monsters. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I got some bad people.
This is always so they've been waiting like for hours, right? And they're like, oh, this will be fine. They'll never go away, dude.
That's I love the graboids so much. Just such great monsters. To what Kevin was just saying.
I always thought that was a bear trap he was hitting. And then I was like, oh wait, that's not a bear trap.
That's why that guy.
The puppetry's definitely up there with Little Shop.
Oh yeah,
French
100%.
stuff funny.
It's
I,
9
I,
buttons.
I wouldn't say it's
Sorry, I cussed.
better than Little Shop's puppetry, but it's amazing.
Kevin, you
probably
can
different.
cuss on here. It's fine.
Huh?
You can cuss. It's okay.
Pardon my French.
But you're an asshole, right?
I just want to reiterate, it's 9 buttons on her shirt.
9 buttons. You took the time to count, Pat?
Should I make a flashcard of that? Is that going to show up?
Just in case. That'll come up in the next Schmoedown.
Got it.
Just like these landscape shots, though, of like, now it's the same shot, but at night, and just takes a lot to set up.
This is the canyon scene that was at night, yeah.
You know
you can tell that's day for night.
Yeah, it is day for night.
And
yeah.
But you love the stars. It's a total like matte.
But it also feels like a matte painting, like overall, in a cool kind of old school sort of way. It works.
Empire Strikes Back kind of way, right? Like a Best Buy.
Yeah.
Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Dick Tracy, good one.
The Shadow.
Little known fact: Al Pacino plays one of the graboids in this movie.
He does. Wait, what?
Oh, here we go. Look at you, Pin.
Oh, he gave her.
She's so charming.
Anytime.
Mike K says, so far, my biggest takeaway from the film is how useless wood planks are as weapons.
Yep.
I do love this
So
reveal here. I won't say it, but after I'll just say that it's a pretty scary thing.
Tim Franco in the chat said, "I'm on the side of the graboids. They're millions of years old. Maybe don't build a town like perfection in the middle of nowhere, and then get mad when OG residents wake up."
This is just
Fair
the
enough,
worst
Tim
example
Franco.
of rent control.
Bro, this is just what LA.
That's
This is
the
just
scary
LA,
thing
but
right
smaller.
Like they spent all night. You think, oh, they're gonna go away, and then no, they're still chilling.
It's the perfect monster of just like, it's the Michael Caine, they can't be bullied, negotiated, or reasoned with.
Totally.
But it's just they're just hungry. They don't want to watch the world burn. So update on my
Size of
tweet to
time
Kevin
domains.
Bacon. He didn't respond, but Mark Ellis liked the tweet. So that's all I got.
Well, we've got that going for us. Where's Mark Ellis? Why is he not watching?
I don't know if anybody's ever tried to pole vault before. It is so hard, dude.
It's really difficult. I tried it after this movie.
I know.
Oh, look at who it is.
You understand the amount of core you have to have and ability to do it, and they make it like, oh, anybody could do it, and we've all tried, and it's
And we all fail at it.
yeah.
John Kaiser is now in the chat saying, did anybody think about giving these slugs a few White Claws and then make them watch the
Okay, real quick.
There he
Ward's
is, Kaiser in
delivery-
the house. Love you, Kaiser.
Fred Ward's delivery of this next line is great.
It's Kaiser in the house. Let me tell you about my guinea
I used to do
pig.
this all the time too. Spit on my hands because of this movie. I thought it was like a cool thing to do.
Kevin Bacon's so cool.
Everyone
That's
is
what
so
happened when
likable
Frank
in this
did it.
movie, man.
Fall right on it.
Bro, why is this score the way it is?
But it's so fun because it's
Right
just
here, I would be
it's
like,
they're pole voting.
cool spit.
Yeah, it's 100%. I love that about this.
Like it has that balance of like this is a B movie like fun time, but it gets dark when we need to.
Well, and that's why I keep referring to it as a B movie. I think it's a big budget B monster movie.
Yeah,
Oh, they're all in sequence together. How cute.
it's cute,
They totally, you can tell they're stuntmen and women.
but it's also like efficient because that way it throws off the graboids, the worms, because if they all go at once, they don't know which one to go for.
John Kaiser saying the champ is here, the dungeon is here, Rice Roni is here. All three of those things are technically true.
We had some
Thank you,
bourbon
PJ.
earlier. Now I'm on the Bud Light there, Kaiser.
What a light.
And this
We're
part
about to have
here.
a Chicago pizza from his mom sent a Chicago care package.
Oh, why'd you have to say pizza?
And I was eating hamburger helper. So there you go.
Oh, Chris, you still got your
Propane.
food. God.
Oh, whoa!
Oh, what great practical work.
Can somebody help me?
Hey Frank, I think Kaiser needs some help. Just take a look at the chat.
Frank, come in the back deck and cut my hair real quick.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Is Frank's mom single? I like pizza.
Is your mom single there, Frank?
She is. Are you?
Hey!
Are you?
Kaiser, dude, you're gonna be his stepdad. Thanksgivings are gonna be never the same at the Frank household.
I'm really, really, really glad that Kaiser's here. Thank you for tossing him in here.
Yeah, I told him. I said, get your ass in here in the chat, dude.
PJ
Watch some Tremors with us.
What'd I do?
Just quote tweeted my tweet and got Michael Gross involved with this too. Roped in Mark.
I'm gonna drag anyone I can into this. If we can get Michael Gross and Kevin Bacon and Mark Ellis to watch with us, then we're doing a good job.
We are a black hole to suck people in.
Bro,
Hey, man.
wait, but isn't that what Tremors just is? It's just literally a black hole, but just dirt.
Evan, you might be the best film critic that's ever existed.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I do what I can. Cheers.
Hey,
Read up on his Pixar thing.
Yeah,
I
guys,
still gotta watch that animated bracket, and I'm afraid to because I think it's just gonna anger me.
just do it, please, for me.
I will. I like Nestor. He's the everyman in this movie.
I just love how perfectly they also get like the small town feel and how everyone goes to one place to hang out. Like if you've ever lived in a very small town, that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that because obviously most small town movies like this have their diner or like one bar that they all go to, and
Yeah.
I guess here it's a diner or whatever.
Tim Franco, you should listen to Kaiser's radio. He does like an hour of a radio set. He's doing another one this weekend. If you're liking his music,
I do like Kaiser. Kaiser's good people.
that would be cool to. Hey, you know what, PJ? Because you're such a big fan, you should get a map of perfection. Put it in the bathroom or something. That'd be cool.
I should. That'd be friggin' great.
I have that. I have a picture of Doc Brown and the Doc and Marty in front of the clock tower from the third movie or whatever, and I'm gonna get it all framed, and I want to put it up somewhere nice next to a picture of the flux capacitor.
That's perfect. I love that. That's the best. I have the flux capacitor around here somewhere, actually.
Can we talk about
You have-
talking mad shit right now in the chat?
Wait, PJ, you have a flux capacitor?
Yeah,
You have a flux capacitor?
I do.
He has the capacity to flux.
Nicely done, Frank.
You can travel through time. You know that, right?
Franco, you need to be a dungeon head, dude. Make it happen,
Well,
Kaiser. Make some
If
trades.
if anyone saw, I ended up in the dungeon when I did that. Was it the Instagram filter thing?
You did? Nice.
Just saying.
I knew I liked you. Oh, thanks, dude. And I knew I liked you too, pal.
Uh-oh, where'd the little girl
Saucy knows
go?
us now. Man, this poor girl can't get away from monsters. It's the velociraptors in the kitchen, and then she's out here in the desert.
Well, and here's what I love. Obviously, with the basketball and stuff too, we're just getting to even like the smallest objects that make noise are the things that are drawing them, and just that's so terrifying. Like everything you do, they will find you.
Also,
Yeah.
that fucking kid only got eaten because he was carrying, not because he was dribbling. He was carrying. That's all I have to say.
Did he get Ian Evan? Oh, wait.
Tim Sim says hashtag never pogo stick.
So rad. My favorite shot of the movie's coming up. From every trailer.
Kevin, I was thinking of the pants scene. I'm like, is that what you're
Song
thinking
here,
about?
God,
This
it's
music.
so good, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, you're talking about the floorboards, Kevin.
Yeah, I jumped the gun.
I mean, this is all good though.
What studio did this movie come from?
Universal.
That makes so much sense because I feel like I could walk through Universal and hear this music.
They need to
probably
retrofit
did.
the earthquake ride on the tram tour and make it a Tremors ride.
I agree, actually, 100%.
That ride became
But like,
Fast and Furious.
imagine doing like a tour guide sort of thing, and you go into like Chang's like market, and you see the floorboards moving, and the tour guide's like, "All this, don't move, be quiet." Like that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would have been a cool addition to something like the disaster movie ride or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything is great.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Well,
They had a bunch of different stuff like that.
Dude,
It's
that's
like
a
walking
disaster of a ride.
I love this. Like the concern in their faces about Mindy is just.
They need to do a fan edit where she
I
gets
mean-
eaten.
But it's like Darwinism. She kind of deserves it at this point. Like,
It's done, dude.
don't pogo around giant worms. She should know better.
Bro, come on. Don't
Kind of better just to get rid of her and like save the human race.
Yeah.
Look at this. How
Are you talking about
terrifying.
natural selection?
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon's reaction and his face right there is just so perfect.
That's how you know you're a movie star, when you can do like that one like dramatic
one-
moment of
Right.
Bro, that would have knocked someone out.
Hey,
it's on the
anyone
corner
in-
of Talcum and Main Street, you guys.
Does anyone have a scarf for John Kaiser? He needs it for tomorrow for a soapbox derby.
That's such an odd question to ask during a live stream of
I thought
Tremors.
there's a lot to break down there.
Kaiser, did I get people from Ferris Bueller? Actually, I kind of did. That's those two
hey,
up in
hey,
the
hey.
top right-hand corner.
Excuse
They're
me.
actually okay. Would you like to answer then?
Yeah, I'd like to answer. No,
Okay.
I'm not from Ferris Bueller. 2, that movie's not that great. 3, I'm PJ's good friend, and we leave it at that. And this is my buddy EJ. But yeah,
Was his good
no,
friend.
exactly. And so he gets eaten by that worm.
Also, shout out Garth McMurray, who invited Michael Gross, Kevin Bacon, and Reba to our watch along.
Bro, fucking Reba McEntire. Let's fucking go.
Okay, we're harassing people at this point. That's not good.
Wait, no, this reminds me of Tweet a Schmo. Or no,
Wait, Chris, did you invite Dan DeVito?
Yeah, and Penzolette.
Yeah, Tim Franco, the stuff about Victor Wong is heartbreaking, and it really is sad.
Hey, Chris, why did you invite Danny DeVito? Was he involved in the film or just?
No, just for
No.
the fuck, just for the outs of the game. what if he comes in?
I love
He's a fun personality.
Hey, Danny DeVito.
Finally took off her pants.
Yeah,
Thank
dude.
God.
I just appreciate that we're now literally roping in anyone who wants to watch Tremors with us.
yes, Tweet a
We
Celebrity.
should
Thank you,
invite
Michael.
Barack Obama too. But here's the shot, dude. In every trailer, and it's so cool, dude.
Yo,
It
can
is
someone
it's the
invite-
Yeah,
equivalent
it's
of the,
so
of
good.
the fin going out
Oh,
the
yeah,
water
it's
in
cool.
Jaws.
It's
They-
so simple.
It
They
is. And
So cool.
again, shout out practical effects.
they paid
Yeah.
homage to that in Godzilla '98.
They did.
Get this kid a juice box, then a chia pet, and send him back to bed. I got my juice box, Kaiser. My chia pet is, we'll call this my chia pet because I guess it's still in high demand.
Nah, that's gold. That's
Gold. And I'm in my own bed, my couch. It's my bed.
Oh my God, is that how Victor Wong passed away?
Yes, it is. Tim Franco put the real story.
Okay, I'm not. Okay.
Bro, Tim Franco really just put it down like that.
Yeah. Tim Franco just put the saddest story ever in the chat.
And that's the guy who played Walter, right?
Yes.
Hey,
Okay.
Tim. Were his sons okay? Or...
Yeah, they turned out his sons were okay.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
You can wipe your ass with a chia pet if things get bad. Okay, John, I'm there for it. You know what? When in fucking Nevada, wipe your ass with a chia pet.
Also, shout out the crush in the back, for the product placement.
Yeah, I was noticing that too.
Perfectly done.
Gotta pay them bills, bro.
This is the saddest scene now in the movie.
Pull
I
back.
I am happy, by the way, that they actually have Pepsi in this. Pepsi over Coke every day.
Whoa, hey there, buddy.
This is so sad now.
See, that's what a Tremors 1 budget can get you.
This is where you first superimpose my face.
That's
on
a
the
great shot,
right here.
actually.
Damn,
that
that's
was
a great
awesome.
shot, though.
That's so
It
awful.
is.
Bro, there's no saving him.
No, but they want to.
Yeah, he's
But
like
it
the
is
father
still
of
And
good.
the
the
god.
practical effect, man. My God, practical effects goes such a
fuck,
long
All
way.
practical too.
If you
I-
save him, he doesn't want to live.
I appreciate all the talk about Egg Shen right now in the chat.
Just
I
like-
love a little bit of Big Trouble in Little China, and I'm going to leave it at that.
All he had to do was wax on and wax off.
Oh no, she got pants back? That sucks.
And
Stop.
Nobody?
Stop, that's bad.
Miyagi callback?
No.
Quarantine, man.
The owner of the shop always gets eaten.
No, her pants are off still. Yeah, they are. Trust me, they're not. See, what the
Could you imagine if this was taking
Right?
place in a big city?
I mean, I do not disagree with Kaiser, by the way, who says Big Trouble in Little
Oh.
China, best movie of all time.
PJ, that's 1.
What'd I do? Oh, I
You
know what
disagree
you're
with
talking
him.
about. Once. It was once.
I'm pulling your chain.
Bruh, someone tell Evan who Egg Shen is. JK, Evan. I'm just
There
gonna.
goes the love interest.
Evan, you might actually get to find out. I don't know. We'll find out later in the night.
Like I said, I'm literally just gonna drink.
Frank, Kaiser would like to know, is your mom free on Thursday, June 14th?
I don't know. Let me give you her number, and then you can figure that out for yourself, guy. All right.
Oh, it's 4 days from now. So.
June 14th.
June 14th is
Oh.
2 months, 4 days.
Oh wait, it's April. Okay.
Very good, Chris. I mean, it is quarantine. I get it.
Oh yeah.
Sleep schedule? Who's that?
Again, shout out practical effects, even for things like this. It's just practical effects go such a long way of making a movie feel scarier, I think, than a lot of special effects can.
It does go to show of like what would it take to make a new Tremors movie and make it as special as this one, because this one really relies on what the heck is going on and what can they do. And so the sequels really are kind of hamstrung by, well, we know what they can do, so we know what you expect.
They're always trying to evolve the powers in the new ones, and then the CG in the newest one, not the snow one, but right before it, made them terrifying. Though how quickly they can come in and out of it.
Yes.
Is that 4? The
no, that's
one?
5.
5?
Yeah, where you see it like it looks like
I need to watch
like
that
a
one.
dolphin jumping in and out of the water.
Like I said, Tremors 5 is one of the better sequels altogether. I think they did a nice job even with the CGI.
I'll watch it. I gotta watch it.
Bro,
we're gonna watch it
Kaiser's
together.
on some shit.
Yeah.
He's telling Chris to keep sniffing glue. Why would anyone ever recommend anyone to sniff glue?
Also, I just want to shout out Mike K, who says, "I can't believe I've never seen this movie before today. These graboids are awesome."
It's
Mike,
just
welcome to
truly
a larger world, man. You just keep watching the sequels.
Yeah, man.
all of my
They're all on
roommates that
Netflix.
watched it were like, "Oh, this is a great movie." Because it is such a weird style of giant worms attack Kevin Bacon.
Kaiser wants to know if I was born a Pixar character or is that something I had to go to school for? No, I'm pre-Pixar, born and raised, so I had to go to school for it.
Nah, you're a fucking Muppet, bro.
Kaiser's on a roll.
I am a Muppet. That's the truth.
Yes.
Kaiser, how much have you had to drink tonight, man? you're never this good. I know it's got to be influenced by something else.
Did he just ask if you were a Pixar character?
He did, yeah. Even though we
Wow.
all know I'm actually a Muppet.
Am I a Muppet?
How much older is he to you?
Muppet of a man.
I don't know. I don't think Kaiser and I are that big of a different age.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, guys. We're getting to the greatest scene in this movie. And it's also like, you want to talk about practical effects of, they have the big monster and the budget and everything. A lot of these like faraway shots are just a fire extinguisher with somebody hiding and just like, psst. And all it takes is just like the simplest, like that's not a fire extinguisher,
Chris
but
Clark.
like it just takes the simplest suggestion of somebody showing like a little smoke that is so effective.
Danny DeVito liked your tweet.
He did? Oh.
There is no way.
You jackass. Jesus.
Yeah, he did.
Chris got so excited.
I also tagged Penn Jillette, so he might do it.
If Danny
I
DeVito's
love
name
this,
is
by the
PJ
way.
Campbell, then yes.
This
This
whole
scene
sequence is so
It's
good.
incredible.
Yeah.
Damn, someone
'Cause
said,
you know what to
Garth-
expect,
Garth
because-
just said, Frank, stick your arm up and work PJ like a Muppet.
This is the best.
Oh my gosh,
scene here.
Garth.
That's seductive.
Tim Sim in the chat says this upcoming scene has the most badass camera pan I've ever seen.
It's truly one of the most incredible scenes visual effects wise, because it is every like tool in the
just, like,
there's one shot that's not good. There's one shot that doesn't hold up well, and you'll know it when you see it. But
That's
it's such
okay.
an
Kaiser,
but it's
are you
like there are
watching
so
all
many
those?
different techniques used.
Look at this. Like, just...
This movie
There
gives
it
me
is.
such big
Oh,
vibes
fuck.
on the old Twister ride at Universal.
I could see that.
But like even this of like, okay, defeat is imminent, and then you hear the gunshots.
Yeah, that's a great. You hear it from far away. It's like a war movie.
It just sets you up, and you're like, ooh.
They all, of course, they think they're dead. They're toast. You know.
Totally.
And all the graboids noises of its like yowls are.
What the fuck?
Frank wasn't ready for that.
God damn.
Bro, I think the fact that they didn't use anything like axes or swords to like beat the shit out of those graboids.
Oh, he's pissed.
It's-
That's a miniature.
Shotguns cut better than axes.
This shot coming up of the gun. Okay, that one's not great. But like the shot, the gun hitting the ground, and then they pan to the graboid. is such an impressive visual effect that nobody notices because it's so good.
This is phenomenal.
When he throws the gun down, watch it.
He drops the gun.
Because it goes from miniature to live action footage, and then like, it's so impressive.
I just love everything about this.
Or what kind of monster you are. You think that
Oh, he broke the glass.
Look at this thing, dude.
In case of giant worm,
Holy shit.
I just love everything about this. The flare gun.
and for
This
those
is
not paying
phenomenal.
attention,
There was
Reba
a
McEntire
Tremors-
just shot a flare
There was
into
a
a giant
Tremors
gun.
dark ride at Disneyland. This would be like the final like room, and it's just a CGI of them, like in Pirates of the Caribbean, just shooting the shit out of this thing.
John Kaiser once again asking another question. Frank, serious question. When you robbed the Dunkin' Donuts on Venice Boulevard last week, why did you take the donut holes and leave the cash?
Because I'm a very
Don't listen to Kaiser right now. Look what just happened.
I know.
Yeah.
Weren't you the one who invited him on?
goddamn rec room, didn't ya, you bastard?
Okay, that was
I
phenomenal.
want that on my
Yeah.
gravestone.
I know. It's so good.
There are 2 more mother humpers.
There are 2 more.
Tim Franco says the graboid blood and the pizza sauce from the pizza fight in Problem Child 2 are one and the same. That's a great reference.
Man, these guys are all about it now. Look at them.
Yeah, look at Michael Gross, man. And it's so funny because he's such a different character than what
Than
you were used
on-
to from Family Ties.
Yeah.
Right, because he was still doing Family Ties at this point, right?
It should have just ended, I think.
Or did it just end? Okay.
Yeah. So it would have been right
But
around
it's
the
like
time.
right off of it. It's like, yeah, still.
It's a drastic difference.
Back to the Future and we did Graboids.
Just to see the ground bevel
Oh,
is such
shit.
an effective image.
Yeah. So Family Ties had literally ended the May before this. So it had ended a year before this movie came out.
Bro, it frustrates me how much they don't understand gun mechanics. That gun isn't going to get through the dirt. That bullet is not going to go through the dirt like that. That's not how that works.
It's a
And hey, they
monster
learned
movie.
that the hard
Pretty
way.
easy, I'm sorry.
But they're rednecks. They should know this.
They're not rednecks, they are preparers.
I know.
That's very similar definition there, Pat.
Listen, Evan, if you want to piss off the Midwest in our live stream, you can go for it. Right now, I'm trying to get the biggest audience we can get, okay? So calm down with your commentary.
God damn it!
We need to get as many views as we can afford.
Then why don't they just retweet the link?
So, Kevin,
Once again, Kaiser asking another question. This one for Chris. Chris, serious question. Are you the real life inspiration for the Hamburglar?
Yeah. I'm also the love child of Grimace too. Yeah. They did some kinky shit back in the day.
Labs to ask me a serious question. Come on, don't make me Venmo you.
Yeah. Garth McMurray says when he saw this in theaters in 1990, it was very odd seeing so many of these actors in kick-ass roles. And yeah, absolutely. A lot of them are playing against type, and that's what I like about it so much.
well, it's serious actor Kevin Bacon in a monster movie. And that's such a weird concept. But it's but also like Kevin, when you said like the night scene with the doctor freaking out as a kid, the one coming up with Nestor and his trailer tipping over, that was the traumatizing moment for me. As yeah,
Bro, why is
Any, like,
Kaiser
small-
so rude right now?
No, Kaiser's not being rude. Kaiser's being Kaiser, Evan.
Damn.
can we kick Kaiser?
No,
we don't want
I
this
like
negativity.
Well, if I'm a mashed potato Kaiser, I guess I get a lot of potato head. Get it? No.
What does that even want?
What just happened?
Bro.
All right, hold on. This
Quarantine,
is
so, all right.
one of the freakiest scenes I've ever seen.
Fuck.
What do you ask for it?
This whole movie does seem like an amusement park theme ride. Like,
It does, doesn't it?
Well,
I'm saying it
doesn't
gives me
Ariana
huge Twister
Richards
vibes.
in the third
Oh,
movie, doesn't
I
she
just
set
imagine-
up like a fake ride, or one of the movies opens up where they try to do a tour at Perfection and it's all fake, with like a Jeep ride and they're like
Wait,
pulling strings.
what
and
place
shaking
does that?
around.
Yo,
One of the
you
sequels.
guys, I
What's
just
that?
found something out that I never knew until this moment.
What?
Tremors opened on the day I was born, January 19th, 1990.
Oh, damn. You knew that was
Oh my god.
You knew that was coming,
That's
though.
why you love the movie, PJ.
That makes so much sense.
Wait, the day and year?
Yeah, literally.
That's
day
I'm
of.
old as F then, because I was at the theater, dude. I remember. I have memories of you when you were not alive then. I'm old.
We're still best friends, though. It's okay.
Of course.
I can imagine you were saying
Nice.
this as like a themed ride, it being something similar to the like Spider-Man ride in Build, where you're in like a Jeep or like truck.
Denuzio's here.
You can like feel like the things go under you because the truck reacts to it. I don't know, it'd be cool.
Kaiser asking, quick question for the Canadian kid. Have you been 15 your entire life, or did you have the Benjamin Button syndrome?
Fuck!
Oh,
He had
Jesus!
6
It's
Benjamin
Smets
Buttons.
just like as Kaiser come here to roast everybody? It's like a roast hour.
Okay, is this the
great.
Kaiser
No, it's great,
live
though.
stream or the Tremors live stream?
And shout out PLD is in the chat. Paul Denuzio.
What's up, Paulie?
What's up, BLD? Love you, brother.
What's up, babe?
How do they do these scenes, by the way? Like, you know, you think of how easy, like, it's just a quick thing, but, like, did they, I think it's got to be, like, some,
It's an
almost like a
inflatable-
carpet
It's inflatable.
that was made to look like dirt, and they just have it under there, and something's moving around.
It's an inflatable.
As far as I know, it's a flat platform that is just like completely flat. They put dirt and everything over it, and it's an inflatable tube over it that they can like have a large
Did they ever
object
make,
that
like,
just
a
like
behind the scenes
reveals.
thing?
They can control.
There's a lot of behind the
air.
scenes of it.
Oh, cool. I'll check it out.
See, and I was just
It's
guessing.
really really awesome. Like a bunch of the
I can believe it
effects.
because they're really good
Uh,
boys.
Garth says he was born the year that 2001 and Planet of the Apes came out. What year was that? That would be 1968.
Wait, you're telling me 2001 didn't come out in 2001?
Yes, I am.
Damn.
That's the.
Which is
I bet I
ironic.
was on your side for so long.
Which is ironic because the
Released
Tim
in
Burton
theaters for
Planet
one
of
night
the
only in 2001 at least.
Yeah, but
the Tim Burton
2012
Planet of the Apes came out in 2001 too. I don't know if that was a coincidence or not.
Now,
Wait,
we could
dude.
drag something.
Danny DeVito straight up actually liked that tweet.
Stop.
What?
You're lying.
No, we
Did he?
stop
No,
that
it's a
video.
different,
Yeah.
it's a different one. It's a different one. But someone named Danny DeVito liked the tweet. I'm not
What?
kidding. I'm not joking. Someone named Danny DeVito liked Chris Clark's
Okay, well,
tweet.
okay, so you're not completely wrong.
Look at
That's what I mean.
You don't like it.
0 followers.
Did
and
you tag the
0
right
people
Danny
he's
DeVito?
following.
You tagged it wrong. Danny.
No,
he
he
quote
did tag the
tweeted
right
you.
Danny DeVito.
It's
He
just
did
a
tag the
bot
right
that
Danny
check-
DeVito.
It tries to check for anyone.
Okay.
It just made me laugh.
Oh, is that?
But this new Danny DeVito quote tweeted you and said, "Let's go."
He did sweet.
Did he really?
So funny.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Watching Tremors.
Danny DeVito really did. Said, "Let's go."
He retweeted it to all 0 followers of his.
Hey, man, we'll take whatever exposure we can get on our fledgling channel.
Wait. What?
What a great practical effect. Again, I keep pointing to this, but look how great this whole sequence looks.
That's a roof.
God,
I think
just love this movie.
I do gotta say the practical effects are great, but I think the one thing that it misses is like how smooth it can be sometimes when you're able to mix practical and CG. Because like while it's like damn the roof's coming out from under them, you kind of like the roof they're just collapsing the roof from a set. That's awesome, good for them. And they're like oh shit the roof's
It's.
collapsing.
But
I
look
get
at
what you're
how,
saying,
man. Like,
but it's for the time it really is revolutionary. Of you could imagine this entire town just like sinking like to the
Right.
ground. But I
Right.
do know what you're saying of like nowadays the possibility. Like we've seen Sokovia in the Avengers movies literally rise out of the sky, and like what is the combination of the two? Of you could imagine like the terror of this town being way more if they just had those special effects that they could like integrate with these great practical effects.
Right.
That's what a modern like reboot of this could be. Of what could you imagine that these worms could do?
Brandy Parker's now in the chat as well. Brandy, welcome to the party of Tremors.
Welcome to the party,
What's
Brandy.
up, Brandy?
Oh, what's gonna happen to this 4x4?
I'm surprised you have to ask that, Frank, after you've seen the
It's
movie.
true.
This chase scene is great. This moment coming up.
I love
Look at his eyes.
This
Yeah.
was called a friend, bro. This is why I would be him and you.
God, they're so good, man.
That's called a hero, dude.
They are such
Dumbass.
a great duo. It really bums me out that we never got them again as these characters. Like,
It just,
I hope
even
they
as
do
a kid,
another
I
one,
knew.
You know, for 20 years. You know how they've been doing Force Awakens and just
Right.
wait till they're all old and really do one in the same universe.
I
gotta
mean,
do
I
one
would.
more.
I would love them to. I just wonder what happens with all the stuff with Michael Gross, because it would be easy to ignore all of that since it's all direct to video. But like, those have literally kept the franchise alive to this point.
Maybe there's a way to do it where you include it. You just have to step away from the videos for like 10 years, 5 years. And
Right.
It's got to be Kevin Bacon going on a resurgence, kind of like how
fine.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yo,
did,
we
so
got
then
Danny
you have
DeVito
enough star
in the
power
chat.
to do it.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Or it's just like if like
Yeah,
some
Michael Keaton.
auteur like Robert Eggers, who did The Lighthouse, like came to Kevin Bacon is like, I've got a Tremors reboot,
Right.
and you are incorporated in a way that's like the mentor figure that's coming into like.
Hey, Danny DeVito's in the chat.
Yeah, guys, Danny DeVito is in the chat right now.
Oh my gosh,
Said that.
guys, what have we started?
I said that. Excuse me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry for
everybody,
cutting you
welcome
off,
Danny
Kevin.
DeVito. He's in the
Evan,
chat.
well,
But Danny DeVito is in the chat. I just want to make sure that, like, when we look back, I was the first one to be excited for it. Shout out to Danny DeVito.
Oh my god.
Chris.
Chris, what have you done? You brought Danny DeVito here.
Oh man.
that's okay. We want that, right?
Yeah,
We
that's
want
what
that.
we
We can officially say Danny DeVito watched our Tremors live stream.
Someone take a picture of that and post it on Twitter right now and let everyone know Danny DeVito's watching Tremors with us.
Chris, that one's on you, and no one else
Or
but you.
the people in the chat. Either way.
Oh my god.
We're just happy to have Danny DeVito here.
I would love it if Chris did it though, because I feel like it'd just be too on brand. Like he would, like it just makes no sense.
Oh my god. Who? Oh my god. He's actually here.
Can I just say or ask if you guys had to choose someone to do like a Tremors 25 years later sequel, who would you choose to direct it? Or 30 years later?
Me,
James
give it to
Gunn.
me. I got this.
Okay. James Gunn's a great choice.
Excuse me.
I mean,
Who
you're
else?
not.
Denis Villeneuve.
No, it's funny
Danny
because
Villeneuve.
there was an April Fool's joke that came out one year where it said James Gunn was going to do a new Back to the Future, and he was the one guy I was like, that could work. So him, especially after Slither and like
You know
his
who else would be
tonality,
good?
he could do.
Who?
Is that Kevin?
Sam Raimi too, 'Cause, like
Yeah.
someone with a good horror sensibility.
Yeah,
Benicio
Mike
del
Hay
Toro.
said the same thing.
David
Benicio
Sandberg.
Del Toro? You mean
Ooh,
Guillermo del
yeah,
Toro?
no. David Sandberg. David Sandberg is a perfect choice.
What's that, PJ?
David Sandberg.
David Sandberg.
Oh,
He did
yeah,
Shazam.
Ooh, I couldn't hear it.
David Sandberg.
Who did Shazam?
George Lucas. There'll be 17 CGI creatures flying in the
PLD says Fede Alvarez. Tim Franco.
Wait a
says
minute, wait a
Alexander
minute.
Arnold.
Freddie Alvarez.
What Smets just said? I would kill to see a B movie directed by George Lucas.
He
I
would do
mean,
really well. He'd lean
yeah.
into it.
I mean, wasn't that the first Star Wars?
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that?
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know, like for like today's, you know, work.
Yeah, but
Call
would
it
Lucas
Attack of
want
the
to do it?
Well,
See, but he would want to get really experimental with it. George Lucas is weirdly like kind of artistic in that mind,
Yeah.
and you kind of need more of a straight gun for like a Tremors movie. He'd be good with like high concept of like if the worms like had a civilization that lived under the earth and like what's their politics and let's deal with that.
Well, Tim Franco has a great suggestion.
That's not bad.
Yeah, he's totally right.
But it's also you need someone who's good with
Call there,
character. And so Sam Raimi and like David Sandberg I feel like would be your best bet at the moment. This whole thing too of DIY like bombs they're making was a bad period in my life that my mom hated me for because it
Tim
made
Franco,
me
real quick in the chat it says graboids live in sand. It wouldn't work for Lucas.
He doesn't like sand. Hey, PJ,
Very good,
is
Tim.
Is this soundtrack available?
I can find out while we're sitting here.
That's gotta be.
You know, not like I'm sure it's not readily available, but is it available on like those soundtrack sites?
I am looking right now.
I got the soundtrack for Flashpoint Paradox, the DC animated movie, and that was one you just couldn't find anywhere. You had to go to like a site for it.
Yeah,
Good score, by the way.
great score.
You know what, PJ? If James Gunn was announced to do a Tremors reboot, I'd be pretty effing pumped for that.
So it exists,
that
but
heat
it's
again.
out of print. It looks like there's not a readily available one right now.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
I'm sure that's actually got to be something that's
What
coming.
are you doing? Here, I'll hold it for
Just
you.
want to note that's 2
What are you
times.
doing with all that?
Pat has been gone now, leaving us.
I love that they're having this conversation about
I need to make him a
where
graphic.
and how like it should go.
Hurry!
I didn't.
Tim Franco has the Burb score. He said he paid a pretty penny for it. That is a great score, by the way.
Yeah, there's sites where you can really track them down, like soundtrack specific
Yeah.
sites where they'll have links to third-party dealers and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Sounds like the fucking black market.
And
Yeah.
that World War III
Hey,
joke really foreshadowed.
I got the Glory soundtrack, yeah, with a couple extra tracks if you want it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite score, by the way.
Glory is amazing. My favorite score still of all time, I think, is The Rocketeer.
Great score too.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun,
That
dun.
and The Shadow, actually. The Shadow has an amazing score.
Mine's gonna be obvious in the chat, but it's still Ratatouille for me. It doesn't nothing's better to me than that score. It's such a character in the movie.
This guy likes Braveheart. Is a good choice.
Yeah, Braveheart.
This score right here is very Indiana Jones-esque, like very adventure movie-esque in the right
Oh
way.
yeah.
Well, it gives me big, just Universal main theme vibes.
Yeah,
like
it does.
I could walk around Universal and listen to the score and be like, okay, I'm at Universal Studios.
Hey guys, I just want to shout out Danny DeVito. Subscribe to our channel too.
Yo, shout out to Danny, bro.
Danny DeVito, man.
It's official. Danny DeVito supports the PJ Campbell show. So everybody, tweet Danny DeVito. He'll know what you're talking about, and he'll support us. So
Who?
yeah,
Who is that?
it's
that
Danny
Rossica?
DeVito.
It's Danny
Danny
DeVito.
DeVito.
When they were cooking in the bomb. It
Also, did we
definitely, like,
did we
baby
scare
shower
Kaiser away?
Rednecks who like exploded and killed people.
Maybe.
Is Kaiser Danny DeVito?
No, he's talking to my mom right now. So
Shout out to Danielle. She loves Ratatouille.
I love
so
that
much.
score, Tim. I also
Top
love
tier.
the score to Starship Troopers. Really great score by that.
Starship Troopers
Just
has a
they
great
are.
score.
Oh, great score.
I use a lot of it in my KOTOR movies.
Favorite
Actually.
score.
Do you know what has a good score that's more modern? Tron Legacy.
It's one of Alan Rickman's best roles too.
Shout out Garth McMurray in the chat. It's always sunny in Perfection, Nevada. Perfect.
20 comedy
Yeah.
points.
Now,
The one
Sarge,
where
I
graboids
think
kill
Kaiser
everybody.
Okay.
asked his last question.
Guys, graboids aren't gonna kill everybody.
Can we acknowledge how Bert had an
Graboids kill
Uzi that he
everybody.
gave Kevin Bacon?
Right.
I stole your idea. Sorry. I need to still put it. Give it to me.
Also, this scene takes place where the first scene started.
Did say so before.
Yep. I
This
never
movie
realized
really comes full circle.
It's
when I was a kid, I used to think that dynamite thing was a Tootsie Pop.
my friend
What a
next,
very Chris Clark thing to say.
no, that's funny. My friend next to me just said it's one of those redneck baby shower bombs that people use.
or it's like those things that like parties that you pull apart and like pop open, like sort of thing.
Household
It's like a Cracker
chemicals with
Jack.
The proper proportion.
I think it should be canonized that this game created the Molduga from Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I'd be okay
Well, it's
with
like-
that.
Any underground monster is compared. It's, you know, as much as this is a cult movie, anything that's underground is compared to Tremors. Like, this is the origin of, you know, that.
Yeah,
Even though, like, when the writer, he was like in the desert one day and looking at like the desert, was like, what about land sharks? And then SNL did that skit, and he was like, well, I can't do that anymore. And then he made graboids.
Did this movie get any flack because it was similar to Dune back in the day, or no?
No, not that I'm aware
Not
of.
that I know of.
Isn't doing a first-person
I remember
shooter?
the PC version for Dune.
Let's
I remember
do.
seeing it, and it looked like a graboid. I was like, it's like Tremors.
Chris, is that a legitimate question?
Dune. Yeah.
No, there's Doom and then Dune, like the Herbert novel. That's like.
I was. Oh, okay.
I thought you might have been joking.
No, I thought you.
Yeah, I genuinely could not tell if you were kidding.
On Twitter.
Tim Franco says some may say this movie is perfection. I'll see myself out.
Yes, Tim Franco.
Shout out
See
Tim
yourself
Franco.
out.
Tim Franco, fellow Red Sox fan. All I gotta say.
On that note, just remember 9 buttons on the shirt.
Just leave her.
Everything
She
about this
deserves
movie,
it.
like, there's so much tension in just all of this. I love it so much. They build it in the right way.
It's one of the most well-paced movies.
Oh, 100.
Ow. Okay, you've had better aim than that. Graboids.
There's stormtroopers in disguise.
Pardis says he's excited for
That
our
would be
Goofy watch along.
hilarious.
I am too. Mike K, is Melvin about to be useful for once?
I do gotta say, if you're excited for our Goofy watch-alongs, you're gonna be excited for what we got going on soon. That's all I gotta say.
We got some
It
announcements.
is a nice dynamic we have so far of like the
Dude, the whole-
genres and types of movies we're jumping back and forth between.
Like I said, the whole fucking town is here. Like, God, why can't they just, I don't know, evacuate? Damn.
It's
They're
not the town.
trying,
It's the town. Yeah, it's the town.
but there's big worms in the way, Evan.
Just fucking drive.
That has been
The
proven
worms
on
ate their
three
their
times.
cars.
That too.
Pull a ball out of here.
This line that she says, "Wait a minute, what are you talking about? You guys pole vaulted? That was weird. You want to pole vault right now? We got bigger issues going on.
You want a pole vault?
You want to pole vault? We got big worms to deal with."
Pat, could you teach me how to pole vault?
I could try.
You could try.
I could try.
Where do I have to go?
Piss off, Kevin.
What am I witnessing right now?
Between us,
Yeah, it's
something special.
it's something very special.
Don't push me.
This whole sequence is great too because now they're all infighting. It's kind of like the Graboids almost want this.
PJ, that's a ridiculous statement. Every scene is great.
This whole movie is great, but that's not the point. I'm just saying
Just
there's a
let
lot
it
of
go for
build
it.
to
This
this.
is funny. Listen.
Also, the juxtaposition
I
of
don't know,
our main
he knows
character is going to be
everything.
in red and blue.
So funny. It's a bummer she never did.
Yeah,
that.
no, Kevin Bacon wearing the red shirt. This line coming up here, all these like little jokes that they make, you're gonna hear it with Fred Ward.
See, PJ, this if you did the reboot though, you'd have to bring back Kevin Bacon. You'd bring back Reba McEntire. Those are, you know what I mean? Like, those
Yeah,
are
totally.
Like the Chewie We're Home returnees. You know.
Yeah, and Fred Ward if we could get him.
Well, of course.
No, no
Ward,
Fred
too.
Ward, just Kevin Bacon and Reba McEntire. People will get it.
And they go to the perfection city limits, and then they look at each other. He says, "Hey, Valentine, we're home." They play it at Celebration, and we all cry.
Why did Reba McEntire return for the other sequels?
Because everything at that point was direct to video and they couldn't really afford any of them.
Also, country music career was booming at
Yeah.
that
Why did
point.
it go
Yeah.
direct to video? By the way, why did Tremors 2 go?
Well,
direct to
it
video?
was originally gonna have Kevin Bacon and had a way bigger budget, and then he dropped out like a few months before they started shooting, so
We
they had
all-
to rewrite the script
And we also
cut
have,
the budget.
we also have to remember this movie was actually not that well received and bombed at the box office.
And Kevin Bacon was
I
not
there at the
happy he
box
was a
office.
part
I
of
did
it.
my part.
You,
You
did
were
do your
born.
part.
It's not your fault, PJ.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin
and now
Bacon
look
was
at here we are 30 years later making sure people are watching it. So to everyone in the chat, thank you for watching Tremors with us.
well. Kevin Bacon was embarrassed by this movie for a while. He was like, I was in like kind of a schlocky like monster movie,
Yeah, I
and like
remember
really
that,
did
yeah.
not. And
Christian Bale
finally,
used to talk shit on Newsies too. He would make fun of it, and now
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
doesn't because the play is so popular. Oh, here comes the lasagna scene.
Boom.
First lasagna.
it's so hot, but it's so good. You gotta eat it. Oh.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's Stouffer's lasagna.
That is disgusting.
It also looks like yams
Or
What's
like
the-
or sweet
when you're
potatoes.
whenever I was pumpkin carving, I would like
Oh, yeah,
think.
look at the little
It does look like
bubbles
it looks
there.
like pumpkin pie. Yeah.
Were the eggs?
I always
there?
thought those were eggs, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, a sequel."
Just like when the Terminator's hand is cut off.
Hell yeah! Oh, Stumpy.
Welcome to the party, pal. It's a celebration today, bro.
I also love like even the worms when they come out. Like they're caked in a way that looks like mud's been on them for a while. Like it's like really good like attention to detail.
Mm-hmm. And again, you got to give they got smart with how all this continues to play out. This movie never just gets easy. I think that they always found a way to make it more interesting.
It's very logical every step that gets made.
Do you think anybody could dress up as the two main characters at a Comic-Con and people would recognize them? Or would they just think that they're two people?
The people that do get it are the ones that matter.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's like Kevin Bacon in a nice like outer shirt and jeans.
No, I forgot
I'd wear
about
that.
this. I forgot about this.
Such a great sequence too.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Quite literally, very good, Chris.
Yeah. That's
GG's,
But it
Chris.
just shows they are so close to winning. They are so close.
Yeah, and see, Stardrew says
I
that
don't think
the
it's so
worms
far away.
were very smart and get better along the way, and that's 100% part of the thing that's so interesting about it. And it's actually funny because Hogue and I were talking about it earlier when we rewatched the trailer for when we watched the trailer for that TV show that Bacon was supposed to do. Bacon's character says that the graboids aren't smart and they don't learn and they don't evolve. And it was like all things that the franchise and this movie in particular proved wrong.
Yeah. It's just much of like don't underestimate them.
Mm-hmm.
Like as much as you think they're feral beasts, which they are. Everything you do, they understand.
Question: what basketball team does he wear as his hat?
Yeah,
Atlanta Hawks. By the way, I never noticed that glass has all of the.
And they're all babies because it's only the first stage of evolution.
This one ain't dumb.
Yeah, there's 3 more
I can't
evolutions.
believe I remember lines like this.
This is the equivalent of them going up against a bunch of level 1 Bulbasaurs.
This one.
see, and that's exactly it right there.
Yeah.
Bacon even says that they're trying to trick them. Like, they're smart. These creatures are smart. So it's crazy to me that the TV show was going to overlook that, and I'm glad that that newer show didn't happen for that reason alone.
But Kevin, what you said, every single one of these lines is like ingrained in me in a way that like only movies from my childhood. So it is like that nostalgia ting.
Yeah.
Every time they're like, "Throw the damn bomb," I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that."
Bunch of, and I thought they smelled bad on the outside type lines from that you just don't realize that are just they're not necessarily iconic, but we remember.
It's just like stuck in there. I'm gonna go for it.
Michael K asks, which movie monsters would you pit against graboids in a crossover?
That's such a great question.
No, that'd be a bad movie.
No, not even. You don't have to pit them against each other. But could you imagine you put 2 monsters in one place, and like
but
people
it's like
are stuck fighting between, trying to survive them?
But you wouldn't be able to watch the graboids. They're underground.
I love a gargoyle in a graboid just kind of doing their things together.
Maybe the blob.
Here's our Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade scene right here.
Yeah, right here.
But like it'd have to be like graboids versus Godzilla or like something. Because they'd have to be big enough so he just can't eat him.
To be honest, the thing in Kong Skull Island that eats John Goodman kind of does look like a graboid with legs.
I haven't seen that one yet. I gotta watch it. This sound.
Yeah. So
Good luck, Kevin Bacon. I hope this works out for you.
Imagine being embarrassed being in this great 90s creature feature.
It is weird because there's an entire shot where you just have to run past a mound of dirt. And like, I get how it would feel weird.
And splat!
Lasagna, guys.
And they just killed an archaeological, like, discovery.
Now you want to go in that tunnel and make like a ride out of it, like a log ride. And it'll be like Splash Mountain.
You are the graboid flying.
Tim Franco says that he'd put the graboid against the creatures in Splinter. That creature would just turn the graboid, and that's scary.
Oh, that would be terrifying.
Stampede comes full circle.
Man, it does. This whole movie comes full circle. That's what I like about it. Like, it's very... It feels like it could be so simple, yet the script is so smart, and everything means something in the long run of it.
Way to go, dude.
Melvin, you get me.
Mike K says, "How could anyone possibly be embarrassed by this movie?" And I agree.
True. It's not a bad movie at all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Like, imagine being Kevin Bacon and being embarrassed by this. Like, I just could never understand that.
Well, it's just because he's in such bigger movies. Like, I get it, but it's also, this is the movie that lasts in his career in a way that a lot of movies don't.
Yeah,
And you
but
can't.
Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun, and we still liked Leprechaun.
Right.
Yeah, but not like Tremors. If you're going to compare Leprechaun to Tremors, there's a margin of quality we're talking about.
Well,
That is not wrong.
Leprechaun does have Warwick Davis in it.
You got to true, but so does Star Wars, and now we can go to Star Wars for that. And to be fair, Tremors does have Gary Oldman playing one of the graboids.
He does? I didn't know that.
It's true.
And Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito's just a fan. He just likes this movie.
Yeah, shout out to Danny DeVito. You made my night tonight.
And just
Thanks,
remember,
Dan.
guys, stick around when the credits start to roll, because when everything is over, we're going to make 2 announcements, and it's going to be very exciting for everybody.
That is very true.
And when the credits start to
You
roll,
scared
you
Frank off,
hear
is
a
Oh, that I
Reba
believe.
McEntire song.
I don't know if I want to hear a Reba
look at
song.
this.
Not gonna lie.
Perfectly slammed.
Man,
It's a good song.
I feel like a woman.
Working
Dun, 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 dun. Like,
Chris, I appreciate you.
that's my favorite Reba song,
I just love everything about this, and what a good ending, too.
Which I'll wait until after the moment.
though. Oh, they kiss.
But
hell.
yeah, the original ending didn't have them kiss. It just
What
had
was
them.
what was the original ending?
It was Val driving off with Earl, and just him being like, "You should have done it," and like looking for like his lighter, and then she finds the lighter, and then test audiences were like, "No, we refuse this," and they like had to go back and reshoot it so he kissed the girl at the end because it was just so cathartic.
I know you don't trust me because of the
So we've made it through the movie. I want to start with
Here's
Frank
the Reba
real
McEntire
quick,
song.
because Frank has never seen this before. So I'm going to start with Frank. Frank, what did you think of Tremors on your very first watch?
I enjoyed it a lot. It's a very fun movie. I think due to the time in which it was made, I thought it was smartly made with all the effects and how they chose to show the graboids and all that. It's pretty simple, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I mean, I know that movies like this can feel dated sometimes, so I'm glad that this one really
Yeah,
avoids
and
that. I think
I think really the only reason it doesn't feel dated because all the practical effects used. It's just like
totally.
that. I think that really lends itself to standing up to standing the test of time. I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. Evan, you also with your first time watch, what did it feel like to you? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I'll throw it over to DJ first. What you think?
I got we said this early, but I definitely got a Jaws feel from it.
Totally.
It felt real, and the fact that the practical effects were such a big part of it, like grounded it so much. And to go off what Frank was saying, to me it didn't feel dated because of its scenery almost. So the small town location, I feel like can be played at almost any time, at least right now, because you can write off like outdated technology as it's just a small town. So it doesn't feel like, if this was in a big city and people had like brick cell phones, you'd be like, that's dated. But they're in the middle of nowhere, so you can kind of write off the
Totally.
fact technology isn't where it should be. So it didn't feel obnoxiously outdated in that way as well.
Yeah, I get that, and also I think I had a lot of fun with this movie. I think it definitely like lacks in terms just like, oh wow, this small town has a lot of like small dynamics. I wish we could have expanded upon the small town so I felt more connected with the characters. But outside of that, it was also just a ton of fun. These graboids were a lot of fun to look at. You could tell that the characters were actually frightened. Oh my god, we have these worms coming out of the fucking floor. What are we supposed to do about this? And I could just imagine mini Pat Hogue sitting down watching these movies. Mom, did you see that worm? All right, we're gonna go camping tomorrow. No, Mom, I don't want to go camping. No,
Not tomorrow, tonight. We're
Tonight,
going
Mom. I
outside.
don't want to go camping
Like,
tonight.
I'm watching it as she's setting up the tent.
Yeah, but anyways, I think the movie's a ton of fun. I can't wait to talk about at like the very end what we have going on this weekend because oh man, it's insane.
Really
Yeah.
quick, I sorry.
No, go for it.
On that. I also totally love the lack of dramatic irony in it, because with a movie like Jaws, like the second it was introduced, we as an audience got it. Like, it's a big shark, but like the rest of the characters may not get it. So
Right.
when we're introduced to the graboids the same way the characters are. So we see them as these small things. You're like, got it, small worms, understand. And then that changes for them the same time it changes for us, which I think is a cool way to have a monster exist.
No, absolutely. And then, Smets, you said this is the first time in a little while that you had seen it, correct?
Yeah, I'm just thankful that there's movies out there that like can just bring you back, like just remembering the lines and just, you know, it's almost like frozen in time. Like, even still watching it now, like I literally just turned 41. Like, so like I'm an adult now, but like watching some of the lines that Kevin Bacon has, it brings me instantly back to when I was a kid, and I like looked up to him, like he was so cool, and like, you know, to be able to be taken back into that period of your life is just, it's great. And that's what movies like Empire Strikes Back are for me, and, you know, Indiana Jones and stuff like that. So definitely, I'm just thankful that we got movies out there. I think we all do personally. It might not be Tremors, it might be other movies for you guys, but that's the greatest thing about movie making and the cinema is that there are movies that it doesn't matter what's going on in the world, it can just take you back instantaneous. You know what I mean? So yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it, and it was fun watching it with you guys and learning all this stuff that I never knew about it before too. So that was great.
Well, thank you again for being here, number one, and I'll thank you again before we, you know, log you off. But I'm glad that you had this kind of time and place moment for it, because I think it adds a lot to the conversation that we had. Because, I mean, I discovered it obviously on VHS, but I wasn't in the theater in the same way that you were. So I think it's a nice thing to be able to hear from someone who was there in the moment and can, like, appreciate it for that.
Yeah. Like I said, little scenes like when the headlights go out. Like I have instant memories of the movie theater when that scene happened, and just the crowd was.
Totally. And then, Chris, when was the last time you revisited this?
Probably last year when I did a binge of all. It was all movies up until Snow Day in Hell, whatever
A Cold Day in Hell.
A cold day in hell. Snow Day in Hell. I love these movies. I love each and every one. I do contend that the fourth one is probably my favorite of the franchise. I think the first one is amazing in among itself. I think it's the second best. The first one also has. I think it's a good kind of comparison to say that it's Jaws in the desert. The thing is, though, the film and the characters, it's not necessarily about how the monster affects the characters. It's more about the sound and how their actions affect what happens to them as characters, and the monster kind of supersedes itself in the background a little bit to where it's not really the main focus until the last act. It's everybody's actions that get themselves killed is what kind of drives what they're doing. And I think it's a very creative way to go through a monster movie. It's kind of like Jaws, but Jaws, you kind of had the Jaws was at the beginning, you had his point of view throughout the entire movie. The graboids didn't really have a physical effect on the actual movie until they actually came to prominence during the last act of the film. I think it's just you're engaged so much and you think that it is a monster movie that that's the power of Tremors. So yeah.
You know, now that you say that, I get like a massive A Quiet Place vibe.
Yeah, sure.
Because I would say the same thing from that, where their actions matter so much more than the monster itself. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and I think that there's a lot that might have been pulled from this by Krasinski for it. Hogue, as you just rewatched this and now you've come back to it again within a week, what were your overall thoughts?
It's just a perfect movie, and it's something that like is so important to me as a child, that as somebody who wants to be a filmmaker and wants to make not just the same thing over and over again, looking at it again, like especially within such a short succession from last week to this week, it truly is a film that is unlike anything other, because it is such a B-movie monster movie without being too schlocky, and it is such a nice character piece without being pretentious. And it does such a good job of balancing all these weird things of just, it is, you know, Frank, you said it is like, you know, such a, I forget what the terminology was, but you said it was such a good time, but it's such a full movie in that it's just everything you want from this kind of like premise in this movie and these characters. You kind of get the wide range of what these monsters can do. And like, these people in this scenario react the way you think you would react, but they're just a little bit smarter than you, so it's more entertaining. It strikes that weird like middle balance of everything you want from a movie, of a horror movie with smart characters, but that is fun and adventurous and feels like an 80s movie, but is made with 90s like visual effects the way Jurassic Park was. It just like is the culmination of all these like perfect aspects made into this movie that is just ingrained in my brain in a way that I want to do and like want to capture one day, but it just kind of feels like this is lightning in a bottle, but in movie form. And maybe I'm praising it too much, but it's weird to say that a movie about giant worms eating a small town of fun country folk, one of which is Kevin Bacon, is one of my favorite movies. But watching it multiple times as a 25-year-old, it is, and it's kind of perfect. And it's something to look at as, you know, an achievement of filmmaking.
No, and I don't disagree with you. I mean, I grew up watching this on VHS, and I think it's held up because it's so much fun. I think it is a perfect movie in a lot of ways, and I think that we look at movies like The Godfather as perfect pieces of cinema, but we forget that things like Tremors can be on that level for different reasons, and that's very important to me. And so this movie just means a ton to me. But real quick, before we continue, I have to get Frank out of here because he has another stream to go to.
Wow.
With Kaiser. So
bounce. Thanks, guys.
yeah. So you guys, where can the kids find you online?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, FrankieJ29, Schmoedown Rundown every Saturday, Sunday, all that good stuff.
You'll find me defending the title at some point this year. At kevsmets.com. Wait, what is it? I don't even know what I'm saying. At kevsmets at yahoo. No, don't
That's
do
his
that.
email.
That's my old email anyway. I got a Gmail now. At kevsmets on Twitter.
You just got a lot of weird kind of offers.
From Danny DeVito.
Yeah, if you guys got any ideas how to lower my home mortgage while increasing my penis size, thank you. At Kev Smets on the old Twitters, and at KOTOR Trilogy too, if you like yourself some Star Wars KOTOR. Appreciate you guys letting me on here on the show. You guys are all raw. I loved hearing from all of you guys, and I'm glad you guys love this movie as much as I did. It was like watching it with some good friends, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, totally. I would love to have you back, so we'll make something happen. But thank you again for coming on, my friend.
All right, guys.
All right, thanks.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
See ya.
So with that, real quick, as we kind of get into all of this, Evan, can you get the posters for the things we're about to announce after the first movie that I put in there?
Yeah.
So real quick, I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning, and we're going to talk a little bit. I talked about this earlier in the episode, but Monday night, again, we are doing a Goofy movie. That is going to be our watch along for the 25th anniversary. Ryan's going to be here in house with us. The Snell will be here. Of course, Sunday, 7 p.m. also, you will have us back doing the PJ Campbell show.
So, Pat,
what's up?
I was just texting Robert during the stream. He seems excited, ready to go for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, we got Robert Butler III, director RB3, as you guys might know him. And I am super excited that he is actually going to be on here with us. I can't wait.
Yes, sir.
Music is a big thing for a lot of us. So I'm excited to talk about what our top films of the decade are. Again, Tuesday, Evan comes back with Famous Last Words with Jacob Blunden.
Yeah, I do got to say, I'm actually very excited for this one because a lot of people don't know Jacob's story. He does this very smart thing on the internet where he keeps a lot of his private life concealed. So we're going to tear that open and make sure that people actually get to know who this Aussie bloke is because, god damn, there's a lot to know about this guy.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, you know, Jacob's an interesting dude. He grew up in Australia. It's a different place, literally, and just a different world. So I'm excited about that. Tomorrow night, Family Game Night returns. We will be playing Virtual Monopoly, which is going to be very exciting. Our friendships are going to be over by the time it is over.
Interesting.
And Chris, why don't you take away this bottom one real quick before we jump into the big announcements?
All right. Wednesday, guys. I know you guys have been, a lot of people wanted this show back. Suddenly Soundtracks returns with a list show. It is going to be top 10 Disney soundtracks. It's going to be a basic list show, nominations, figure out what the top 10 Disney soundtracks are, and whatever number one is will be the watch along. So The schedule for the Suddenly Soundtracks episodes will be that. It will be live 10 p.m. EST on Sunday, on a Wednesday. Then me and Whitney and Bibbs are going to be doing Rocky Horror Picture Show the following on April 29th. But before then, the thing that we decided was to give me time to produce and edit the show like I would usually do back when it was on Take 3. Will be a watch along of the corresponding Suddenly Soundtracks episode. Now, if you guys don't know what Suddenly Soundtracks is, it's simple. We judge a movie not by the movie itself, but by the soundtrack that it provides. We go through each song, rate it, find out what the overall score of the album is, and we give our best 3 and our worst 3. It's a simple show. It's fun, and there's not many musical shows on. So, and whatever wins the top 10 Disney soundtracks, the show that we do will be the watch along and corresponding episode in May. So a lot of things going on with Suddenly Soundtracks. It's back, guys. Bada bing, bada boom.
Suddenly
Yeah, I pushed you and pushed you and pushed you to bring this back. So I'm glad it's actually happening. It's a big deal to me because I really love this show. I love music. I love everything about it. And so I'm very, very happy that we are going to be able to do this. And we've got some other fun stuff lined up.
Yep.
So real quick.
Can I address Kaiser really fast? I'm sorry.
Really, Evan? Really right now?
It's Kaiser. He does this to you. This is way back in the chat. He's asking if I could sing the Friends theme song. How about you check out Family Game Night tomorrow when I'm probably going to be drunk as shit.
Okay, so...
And maybe I'll sing the Friends theme
Anyway,
theme
with
song for
that,
you.
let's go ahead and make our big announcements real quick. So next Friday, we have a movie that I've been teasing all day. It's a movie that I adore very, very much that we are going to be doing a... What is that, another fire alarm? That's Pat Hogue's fire alarm. We are going to be doing a watch-along for Big Trouble in Little China. John Kaiser, actually, is going to be our special guest on the episode. We are going to be talking all things about this great, great John Carpenter classic. It is a film that I adore very, very much. Kaiser reached out to me and asked if this is the movie he could do after he had talked to Smets about this and Tremors. So I'm very excited about that. Following that up with all of May is going to be Rian Johnson month. So every Friday, because there's 5 Fridays in May, we are going to be going through the entirety of Rian Johnson's filmography where we talk Brick, Brothers Bloom,
Yes, sir.
Looper,
Yes, sir.
Star Wars The Last Jedi, and Knives Out. So
Great
we
movies.
are going to be doing an entire look back on all of his films. I'm a big Rian Johnson fan, and I know that is not necessarily the popular opinion in the room. Maybe not for the people on the panel, but just in general, the internet has a love-hate relationship with Rian Johnson, but it just felt like the right time to do it. So I'm very excited. Guys, what are your thoughts on some of these announcements?
I'd like to initially apologize. My roommates are cooking a beautiful roast, and turns out smoke is not good for fire alarms, so they didn't like that. But we are fumigated. We're safe. Don't call the fire department. But I'm excited, regardless. I can continue my opinions, but I want to not overtake other people's if they want to go first.
Oh, interesting.
Evan, talk.
Yeah. Dude, Rian Johnson month's gonna be fun. Pat and I were talking about it. I've seen Looper, I've seen Last Jedi, I've seen Knives Out, obviously. It's not, this isn't my normal set, but in my normal place I have my Knives Out poster up right behind me. A lot of his shit's so good. I'm excited to see his first 2 films. I think I'm gonna take a look at them before we do our watch ons because I know there's a lot to break down when it comes to Rian Johnson movies. But I'm super excited because it's fucking Rian Johnson, and I get the divide. He has a very specific art style that's not, I don't want to say divisive, but you have to pick up on it. You have to pick up on the nuances to really appreciate it.
Chris Clark.
I've not seen any of those movies except Last Jedi and Knives Out. Yep. So and
So these are gonna be
I'm a virgin.
First time watch this.
So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. No, I
think Chris would love Looper.
wait, Yeah, so I mean it's a good idea. Was it Jacob who came up with it? But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be nice to see what the chat thinks, and maybe there'll be another new. Maybe I'll look at Last Jedi a little bit differently than I did. There's no Jabba in it, so I'm not too happy about it.
I'm very much hoping you do see it differently because I very much love this film, very, very, very much. But I digress. I am very happy that we are going to be looking back at Big Trouble in Little China. This is Kaiser's favorite film of all time, by the way. Ooh. So this is like a big thing for him. He is very excited to come on and talk all things Big Trouble in Little China. He is a giant John Carpenter fan. He and I were talking about it literally all morning. So
PJ, I've never seen Big Trouble in Little China.
Are you kidding me?
Whoa, I haven't either.
This is and can I say what I think about Rian Johnson? But
yes,
like,
of course.
But like with Big Trouble in Little China, John Carpenter is somebody who is such an inspiration to me, but I've only seen like 2 of his movies. I've seen The Thing, and I've seen In the Mouth of Madness. I've never seen another film of his. And so like Big Trouble is like, he made like a weird comedy with Kurt Russell. It's that feels like the weird one in his filmography as the...
It's not necessarily a comedy, by the way. I mean, it's got comedic elements. It's not a comedy.
That's interesting because I only have tangential like information about what the tone and kind of what the idea of the movie is, but I've always wanted to know because it's always felt like, wait, he made that movie in like his filmography of weird horror movies? On top of, real quick with my rundown of Rian Johnson, Brick, I think I've only seen once, but it's really cool. Brothers Bloom I've never seen. Looper I saw twice opening weekend. Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie, and Knives Out I've only seen once, but I really liked, and I feel like on rewatch I'm going to love.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
incredible on rewatch.
Yeah, so I'm gonna back away there, but that's my push away. And sorry for the horribly like immature podcast live stream with the fire alarm. I'm just the worst. I'm sorry,
Awful.
everybody.
One of the worst, dude. How dare you?
Evan, you were on my
What?
side once.
Once. It depends on the situation, man.
DJ, no, you just joined us. Come on, what's going on?
Get good, Pat. Get good.
I
No.
wasn't.
I'm really, really excited, though. And I mean, there's a lot of these movies, like some of you are revisiting them for the first time, some of you seen for the first time. And actually, Rian Johnson's almost entire filmography fits kind of what we're going for. So I'm very, very excited about that.
The flip back and forth of cult versus kind of more populist sort of movie.
And I'm making an executive decision right now because I actually just had Tim Franco reach out to me privately. And we are going to have him on Big Trouble in Little China next week as well. So it'll be John Kaiser and Tim Franco as our special guest. So things just got very, very exciting.
Hell?
Yeah, so we are going to have a very good time talking Big Trouble in Little China with some very special guests. So which ones are you guys most excited about? And then, you know, leave us some suggestions on things that you guys would like to see us do, because we are big on the cult movie things for the Friday night movie marathons or watch-alongs, however you guys want to call it, because I want to bring a spotlight to movies that people aren't necessarily watching. Like, we could talk about every Star Wars film till the cows come home, but we're not going to add to the conversation in the same way that maybe something like Brick you guys haven't seen, and we want to shine a spotlight on it. So, you know, in the comment section below, let us know what you want us to watch, because I would definitely be up for that. If you guys have not already, please also like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because you guys are the lifeblood of what we do. If you haven't already, also you can find us on audio in pretty much anywhere where podcasts are sold. So with all of that, Chris, where can everyone find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChrisClug8788. Those numbers mean nothing. And be sure to check out Suddenly Soundtracks every Wednesday here on the PJ Campbell Network, the show where you can dissect a movie song by song and judge a movie solely based on the soundtrack that it provides. Bada bing, bada boom.
And Pat Hogue.
I just want to reiterate, because I don't usually touch on this real quick. Thank you guys for the support, seriously, because the engagement we have during the chat and kind of the numbers we're seeing growing throughout the channel and the videos is really inspiring, and it really makes doing these videos feel really fulfilling. So thank you for that. But on top of that, you can follow me at Pat the Canadian on Twitter. We lost PJ, which
No, where the
for
fuck PJ go?
Campbell, but for the channel that is
There we
okay,
go.
he's back. But I
back.
was gonna say if we lost him, it's not the biggest loss because it's not like he's the name of the show or anything.
No.
Regardless, you can find me on Instagram, which is now more important because PJ's back, I guess. But find me on Instagram at Pat the Canadian. Find me on Twitter at Hogue_filmmaker. And check out my short film So on Crypt TV's YouTube channel. They're a big horror kind of aggregate of different horror different things that they're doing. My short film is on there. It's featured as one of their featured creatures. And check out my Vimeo at Patrick Hogue, Hogue, because a lot of people like to spell it differently, but Hogue is the right spelling. So if you do that right, you're in the cool club. All of my short films are on there, and I'm a filmmaker. I do cool stuff. Take it away, everybody.
All right, Evan and DJ, where can they find you?
DJ.
I'm on lines at DJ Paradis01. Paradis is spelled like paradise minus the E, or DJ's Digital. On all social medias, basically. Also, keep an eye out for a thing we're going to be doing together soon. We're starting a podcast on esports/video games called All Talk No Play. So yeah, how about you?
And you guys know where to find me. Hopefully, it's literally right there. Evan Degraff Live on Twitter. I like to talk about Pixar movies, and I'm doing a complete binge. And if you follow my letterbox, I don't know where I find it on your own. I would love to see who finds it. Look for it, because I actually want to have a commentary on these Pixar movies. I don't find a single one bad, and I know that might be a hot take. But go on. I'd love to have a conversation about these Pixar movies. So follow me on Tinder. Not Tinder, Twitter.
Follow him on Tinder.
Wait, Evan, who are you on Tinder? I just gotta...
Did you just pull a me?
Yeah, he did.
Chris, we don't want to pull a you on this one because then we'll get canceled, and that's the
I've
problem.
already been canceled, bro. It's fine. But anyways, follow me on Twitter there, and also
And Tinder.
and Tinder, I guess. So swipe right on me. I look cute. But also the PJ Campbell show on Sunday. I know PJ is gonna promote that, but I am so excited to have RB3 on. One of my best friends in the space. Such a great guy. And then also we have our Tuesday show, Famous Last Words with Jacob Blunden. I'm very excited to actually deep dive so you guys get to know this fucking bastard a little bit better.
I just want to say I won't be on that PJ Campbell show just because I told PJ this. I am an idiot when it comes to music, and I didn't want to kind of invade this conversation. RB3 is one of my favorite people. Robert Butler, he is incredible. Watch that episode. They're going to have so much to say and have a great discussion. I'm just an idiot when it comes to music. Please support them, what they're doing. And guys, thank you for watching. PJ.
Wow, real quick, I just want to shout out the video has 25 likes currently on.
Woo!
Which you guys were all over watching this and liking the video. So thank you for the support. Number one, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PJ_Campbell. If you haven't already, head over to Facebook where you can actually join the PJ Campbell Network Facebook group. And you can also find the PJ Campbell Network page. Like the page and join the group. Twitter there on the bottom too. But thank you guys again for all the support. Without you guys, we really can't do this. It takes you guys to build this channel and help us get there. And with less than 2 weeks, we are over 100 subscribers already. And you guys are always in the chat. We have so many of you who are here regularly hanging out with us. And thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and from everyone here. We love you guys. And we will see you guys here tomorrow night for family game night. Come watch us play a little bit of Monopoly as we yell and scream at each other. And, hey, send us questions, and we'll just answer it while we're playing the game. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys. Until tomorrow, this is us signing off. We'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Oh, they can still hear me.